What's up guys, this is your favorite fanfic YouTuber, the Fanfic Majesty, and welcome to another amazing video. You can follow me on Patreon for exclusive stories. 13 OK Chapter 228 The Awakened Shisui, Break Konoha's Blood Path. Don't you have the answer in your heart? A figure fell on the ground, and Saping responded to what Itachi said before. People are contradictory. Although I have found the answer in my heart, I have to be recognized by others to be completely at ease. Sword sang. Itachi looked bitter and walked to Kenpachi and sat down step by step. He was excited about the news of Jianang's arrival. But after the excitement, it was a little uncomfortable. Everything happened too quickly and suddenly. Watching Shisui's death, the excitement to him was a little too great. But Itachi didn't know that he was just a part of Kenpachi's plan. And this plan will come to an end today and complete the most critical step. Did you reply to Danzo? After thinking about it, Kenpachi suddenly asked. Danzo? Is it really Jansong? Even when he first came to Konoha, he still knew what had happened. He gave me two choices. After a long silence, Itachi sighed. I haven't replied to him yet, but there is a strange feeling in my heart, and I even drew up my own plan because of the choices he gave. What's the plan? It's in the set, Kenpachi asked with a smile. And this plan seems to be only for you, Jansong. Since Shisui asked me to protect Konoha and also need to save Uchiha's name, I probably have only one choice. That is to carry everything on your own. Turning his head to look at Kenpachi, Itachi has some pain on his face. It's probably the best way to let the Uchiha clan preserve the name of the Glory clan and die, but the pain only lasted for a few seconds, and Itachi's face suddenly showed a little relief. On the day of the rebellion, Konoha's Uchiha completely perished, and there was only one heinous genocide butcher. In this way, the face of the Uchiha clan should be preserved, and the village will also not be threatened. Of course, the above plan will only be selected if I don't go to Jianian village with Shisui. Shish. Seeing that he wants to continue speaking, Kenpachi stretched out his hand to interrupt mercilessly. It was obvious. Please shut down. Itachi is a sensible person. Maybe he was a little confused before heading to Jianian village. Kenpachi didn't show up and walked over there. The old road is not impossible, but now it's different. After seeing everything in Jianian village, I understand that Konoha is not righteous, nor is it. Justice, even Hokage, is not necessarily correct. Then why use Uchiha to complete Konoha? This is what Itachi will say next. Those in the front are just what Itachi said. If there is no change, what he wants to do in his heart, shun. So Jansong understood that his heart pointed out the way to go next, but it was extremely surprised that his Jansong had lost the desire to listen. What happened? So, do you understand everything? Slowly turning his head back, Kenpachi looked behind him. A figure came out from under the shadow, but when Itachi saw the face clearly, he was stunned for an instant. Stop. Shisui? What happened? Why is Shisui here? Isn't he dead? Itachi, what you just said. Are they true? Shisui's eyes were blank, and his body trembled. These eyes were given to him by Kenpachi, but he saw what he didn't want to see. The ending of Uchiha Itachi, who gave him his own son. Even at that moment, he saw more things that were a group of things sealed in these eyes. Group picture. In front of that, Kenpachi specially arranged for him to see clearly after his death, Uchiha. What happened to him was fantasy and reality, killing his parents. Joining Akatsuki under the name of a traitor, but actually acting as a spy, monitoring everything in Akatsuki. The little brother who was left behind was only bitter in his heart, and was eventually killed by his own brother with the darkness on his back. Sasuke becomes the hero who killed Shinobu. This is the script in the original Itachi. But in Shisui's view, all that is left is heartache. Just because he entrusted it to Itachi, it would end up like this. This idea came up when you died, and it's getting deeper and deeper these days. Because of Shisui, I really can't think of other ways to deal with the situation. Since his dear friend is serious about it, Itachi calmed down his excitement. As smart as he has understood Kenpachi's thoughts, he stimulates Shisui with his thoughts just now. He recognizes exactly what the so-called reality is. Like Kenpachi, he also knows Shisui well. The Uchiha clan is very kind, just like the entrustment he confessed to himself, guarding. The name of Uchiha is preserved at the same time as the village. That is Shisui's expectation, but still living in a dream. Now the village and Uchiha are like fire and water. If Shisui continues to retain this desire to deal with this matter. If this happens, I am afraid it will be himself who will be injured. Jansong rescued Shisui, wanted him to see Konoha's true face, and then found the right one. The road to the future. So what Jansong induced himself to say before was just to change Shisui's mentality. Looking at Shisui's current situation, it should be a thorough understanding of Uchiha's situation. Did you almost harm your best friend because of your trust? Shisui remained silent, but his eyes that had seen the future reminded him not to continue making mistakes. The village and the family, where should he stand? At the beginning, he seemed to have entered a misunderstanding. The contradictions have long been irreconcilable, and the demise of Uchiha is something everyone in the village wants to see. Under this premise, his hard work is wrong. One-handed village, one-handed Uchiha, weighing is no longer possible, he can only choose one side of the road. He thought this way before. But when you look closely, Konoha hopes that Uchiha will no longer exist, so why can't the Uchiha clan? How about choosing your own ending? If Konoha can't stay, you can learn from the Hyuga clan to leave Konoha and look for a new future. Hidden Sword Village. With a gleam of clarity in his eyes, Shisui looked at Kenpachi abruptly. Everything is so natural. Did not force Uchiha, did not say too much to him. Kenpachi used the results to tell himself where. One way is right, which way will kill Uchiha? In the end, whether it is Konoha or the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Shisui has not changed anything. For Kenpachi, convinced. Only these 4 words can express his heart and admiration for Kenpachi. Saping, he is in control, understood. Touching his chin, Kenpachi asked calmly. Everything is expected. His plan began before Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Shisui returned to Konoha. He has thoroughly understood the situation of the Uchiha clan from Itachi's mouth, so because there is no. It can be concluded from the Battle of Cloud Shinobi Village that appeared. The Uchiha extermination plan will happen in advance, so he came to Konoha. Seeing the battle between Danzo and Shisui, it also witnessed the change and growth of Itachi's mentality. Then he induced Itachi to tell the original plan, completely waking up Shisui. He said that the talents of disobedient subordinates don't need to be high. Shisui is too kind, if you can't recognize yourself and understand that you can't actually do anything. Nor will he completely hand himself over to Kenpachi, now he understands. Unlike Itachi, Shisui and Kenpachi can only be regarded as friends to the greatest extent, not reaching the level of close friends. So since I said something to change, taking a deep breath, Shisui knelt on one knee and covered his chest and looked at Kenpachi. Please let me take a look at the next. You give the child Uchiha's future. This behavior is no different from allegiance, right? Itachi was stunned and lowered his head to meditate for a moment, and suddenly he also had his own actions to express his inner self. But when I wanted to kneel down, I was suddenly taken care of by Kenpachi. I told you. When I set foot on the top, I didn't want to be empty behind me. Shaking his head, Kenpachi looked at the stars. The emotions of Itachi and Shisui are completely different. Kenpachi does not lack loyal subordinates, but he understands that his friends may not be found except Itachi. To other people, if Itachi also becomes a subordinate who lacks spirituality, it will lack the pinnacle for Kenpachi to express. Emotional friends are not worth the gain. Jonsong, I understand. But it's Itachi's own rules. Kneeling on one knee, Itachi looked calm. In front of outsiders, I am Jianang's loyal subordinate, privately you. It is a unique sword mulberry, which is an honor for Itachi. Itachi promises that, whether it is now or in the future, Itachi will never forget those 2 who stood in training. Practicing figure on the training field, is that so? Kenpachi smiled and pulled them from the ground one by one. It's really difficult to cut off fetters, is it also true for Itachi? But this result is not bad for him. Here, your eyes. The road to the future became clear. Suddenly summoning handed out a crow to Shisui. Mangekyo Sharingan with distinguished heavenly gods. Belongs to the eyes of Uchiha Shisui. The soul portrayal eye, distinguished heavenly gods also represents Shisui's heart. He wants to use his own power to change the world, and this pupil technique is the best way to change the world. Taking his eyes, Shisui was silent for a moment and looked at Kenpachi suddenly. The other eye is with Danzo, and the effect of distinguished heavenly gods can control one unconsciously. People like that might have problems with this kind of pupil technique. Although Danzo has always said that his approach is for Konoha, but in the roots these years, I have seen. It's just his various dark work to become Hokage. So, if I can, I want to personally get my own eyes back. Click. Taking off the normal glasses originally given by Kenpachi and installing Mangekyo Sharingan, Shisui is very determined. Said. Before, he had not made up his mind to fight Danzo before he was successfully attacked by Danzo. But this time, he felt it necessary to make a break with the former leader. Coming. Uchiha tribe, home of the patriarch. Fugaku calmly kneeled on the ground and raised his head to look at his son, while Uchiha Makoto was beside him. While stroking the family portrait, no patriarch of the Uchiha clan is a waste. In the end, for Fugaku, it was what he wanted to do and what he didn't want to do. As he said, if the Uchiha clan resists with all their might, Konoha will also pay a great price. But even then, the ending is destined, so he chose another path. Surprisingly, the path he chose was the good destiny left by his son. And Jianian village is willing to accept Uchiha, which is also the information brought back by his son. In front of the 2 of them, Itachi took a deep breath, then knelt on the ground with a thump in their surprised eyes. Sorry, this apology made Fugaku and Makoto a little confused. But this is their son, who has his own ideas and what he wants to do. They don't know what they have posted, but they have always been proud of having such a son. Sorry. A belated apology, although the fate of the Uchiha clan has changed. But this apology should be. Even if he had the idea of extermination by himself, Itachi felt that it was extremely sinful. The two people in front of him were his parents, and he actually wanted to cut off such an existence with his own hands. Unfilial son. If it weren't for Jianeng's existence, Itachi really didn't know what the final result would become. He's sorry to his parents. Okay, get up. After a brief surprise, Fugaku shook his hair and let out a sigh. My son knows it for himself. Even if Itachi didn't say anything, he could guess something. But those are not, Nuo-Lees, important anymore. Itachi has responded to his call and came here, and he has already explained his attitude. Not on the side of the village, but Uchiha attitude changed. There is no doubt that it is the knight Kenpachi that changed Itachi. Fugaku was curious as to why that boy had such energy. What the hell is this kneeling for? Fugaku doesn't want to know anymore. He only knows that the person in front of him is him. The son of very faith is good. What are you going to do? After Itachi stood up, Fugaku asked. Itachi brought the plan, and he also wanted to hear the details. He is the patriarch of the Uchiha clan and must ensure the safety of the clan. Tomorrow I will find Danzo and pretend to agree to their request to lead Anbu and the Root Ninja. 3 days later, an attack was launched against the Uchiha clan. At that time, my father must prepare the people in advance to cooperate with me. It is best to kill most of the Anbu and Root people in the clan, so as to ensure that the clan can enough to get out of the village smoothly. Of course, this is just my own plan. If it is Jonsong, he means we are one. The clan can proudly stand up and leave openly, just like the Hyuga clan. After a pause, Itachi shook his head. But I want Kensang to see you and see the determination of the Uchiha clan to leave Konoha. But my father, I don't want to rely on Jonsong too much. I'm not being unfaithful to Jonsong or. This is very important, and it is related to the future of the Uchiha clan. Jienian village is completely different from Konoha. According to Kensang, it is to get. You have to fight for it yourself. The face is given by others. Whether Uchiha's glory can be maintained or not depends on how we do it. In short, is it enlightenment? Fugaku nodded in relief. Good. Break a bloody way. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 229 Traitor. I am only loyal to Uchiha. People basically care about those things for a lifetime. Go to Jienian village in the future to get fair treatment. The Uchiha clan doesn't ask for anything else, just want to face this thing is not given by others, it is their own dispute. They don't even want to compare with the current Hyuga clan. They will use their actual actions to fight for it, but before that, they want to show their strength and let Kenpachi understand that what they get is not waste. For Fugaku's decision, Kenpachi did not stop it. Good face, understandable. And he also wanted to see the growth of the Uchiha clan after the battle with Cloud Shinobi village at the end of the Third Ninja War. The demise of the Uchiha clan in the original book is a bit aggrieved. But to sum up, that family is not as weak as it seems on the surface. First, the time of extermination is late at night. During this time, all those who should rest have rested. Suddenly it is difficult to react to an attack. It is even a question of whether there are weapons around when being attacked. Second, Uchiha Fugaku never thought of resisting, he told his sincerity before he died. After seeing Itachi's choice clearly, he died calmly and told his son that compared to the dead, the suffering of the living has just begun. From this we can see that he already understood Itachi's position, so he didn't think about resisting. Third, Itachi was not the only one who attacked the Uchiha clan in the night of the clan. In addition to him, there are the roots of Obito and Danzo. Obito, needless to say, Hollow's ability allows him to attack unscrupulously, coupled with a well-trained root ninja. It is not difficult to slaughter the Uchiha clan overnight. However, after the genocide, the third generation let Danzo disarm the root organization. It can be seen that Anbu Ninja did not participate in this incident, but this time it is not necessarily the case. A few days later, the appointed time has come. Standing on the tower of the Uchiha clan, Kenpachi looked down below. The atmosphere was somewhat depressed, and some kind of beast seemed to be awakening in the silent night. Their fate changed, and this boring world stepped forward again under his impetus. If he hadn't appeared, the life at the moment would have completely fallen before dawn. The night of the genocide in the original book was too miserable, and the red-eyed Itachi had not spared anyone in the clan land. Even the ordinary people who have no combat power are merciless. What kind of mentality is that? Kenpachi shook his head. He couldn't imagine. The only thing 360 knows is that it must not be a normal person who can make this determination. After all, the killing of father and mother is not something normal people can understand. Jonsong, I'm ready. At this moment, a figure fell beside Kenpachi. It can be seen from the excitement on his body that the fighting spirit in his heart has been completely burned. However, this excitement is easy to understand. After all, it is the first time for him to think from the perspective of the Uchiha clan, and for the first time he took up a weapon to bet on the name of the Uchiha clan and fought. The battlefield before? No, at that time his identity was Konoha Shinobi. And now, he belongs only to the Uchiha clan, don't worry. Kenpachi smiled, but it is troublesome if you want to fight recklessly. Don't worry, I will take care of those who can't fight. With me, no one dares to move them, great help. Itachi was stunned, then bowed to Kenpachi gratefully. Tonight's battle plan has been drawn up, but it can be aimed at the safety of those people who cannot fight, and they have not been able to find an effective method. Deploy troops to protect? That means that the pressure in front of the battle will increase the success rate of many successful killings of Konoha. If there is no protection, the situation will be completely out of control if there is a fire in the rear. The Bai family is gone. What is the purpose of surviving to go to Jianian village? In response to this problem, they have been discussing for a long time and have not been able to achieve perfection, and now if Kenpachi is willing to help, everything is easy to say. In Konoha, especially the heroic people who have witnessed his leaving the Hyuga clan, they will never doubt Kenpachi who almost destroyed Konoha alone. Since he said that he can guarantee the safety of those people, he will definitely be able to do it. Jonsong, tonight will be very exciting, please rest assured to watch. It's no longer necessary to say thankful words. Just saving the kindness of the Uchiha clan has made Itachi do not know how to thank it. Now it is a little artificial to say thankful words. Only practical action is the best way to serve Jonsong. Oh, seeing you so excited, I feel like going down to play with third generation. With a dull sigh, Kenpachi expressed regret for it. The protagonist tonight is destined not to be Kenpachi, but the Uchiha clan who is about to leave Konoha. If Uchiha shows his determination to himself, Kenpachi will naturally not be able to participate in the frontal battle. But when the Uchiha clan successfully leaves Konoha, those people who don't know each other want to chase after it. The scene is a bit familiar. I once wanted to follow Jonsong to kill Konoha Anbu, but after all, Jonsong went there alone. Now, is it a feng shui turn? Sorry Jonsong, next time. After hesitating, Itachi swallowed and stretched out his fingers as if he wanted to nod Kenpachi's forehead. To be honest, he has become addicted to this action. Every time he pushes off Sasuke to practice together, he always clicks on it to express his mood to make an appointment. Speaking of it, Sasuke has been asking who he learned this trick from. When it comes to the hidden village of Sword, someone should introduce him to Jonsong, right? Not knowing what he was thinking, Itachi's finger clicked out after all. It is a pity that he is still a little tender to treat Kenpachi with this kind of stubborn attitude. Kenpachi has already left the tower in a flash before he can react. Harm, next time. Shaking his head, Itachi jumped down. Now that someone is protected, the deployment of the battle also needs to be changed. It is good for the Uchiha clan to be able to recruit more people to join the battle. Master Danzo, don't you really need to say hello to Master Third Generation? On the outskirts of the Uchiha clan, hundreds of ninjas with roots surround Danzo, and Aburame, the guard next to Danzo, asked in a low voice. This time the action is to bypass Third Hokage directly. If it is carried out smoothly, it will be fine, but if something goes wrong, I'm afraid Lord Danzo will be punished. Sarutobi, he will only be a hindrance, Danzo said coldly. The existence of the Uchiha clan is a threat, and this is something he and Sarutobi both know. But knowing that it is a threat or a promise of inaction, that is not what Hokage should do. That person only knows to say good things. Policy of Wairu? Reconciliation? It's been a few days since it's been pretty good. Why didn't I see any movement from him? You are too naive, he is just waiting. Wait until I come out to protect Konoha in my way and continue to play the role of a good person. With a cold snort, Danzo took a deep breath and looked forward, but Sarutobi's figure remained in his mind. He didn't say a word wrong Sarutobi. It's not that Danzo has to do this, but Sarutobi Hiruzen probably means that too. He said all the good things, and even told Uchiha Itachi fakely before that he would solve the problem by other means. But, just like what he said, the so-called Hokage sat in that chair and said that he wanted to solve it but never thought of any solution. Sarutobi is waiting for himself to attack. Danzo can be sure. That being the case, why did he hide it? These hundreds of root ninjas came to collect corpses for the Uchiha clan. But Danzo is very clear Sarutobi Hiruzen's third Hokage. It's okay to wipe your old partner's ass, but you can't do nothing for nothing. After activating Izanagi once during the sneak attack on Uchiha Shisui, Danzo discovered that the pupil technique is really a good thing. CIDF. Attribute all disadvantages to illusion, and then create favorable conditions for yourself? For him, who has successfully transplanted his arm from Uchiha letter that Orochimaru sent before he left, how to use it together is simply perfect. So in order to continue to use this trick as a whole card, he needs enough Sharingan. And this is his real goal. Sarutobi thought he was using himself, it was ridiculous. He is Shimura Danzo, for Konoha, no, for being Hokage, he can give up one. Naruto's location, that's the position he desires. The plan for tonight is perfect. Of course, there are also disadvantages. That is, Uchiha Sasuke did not stay at the school as planned. Instead, the school teacher received the news early in the morning, saying that the kid happened to be unable to get up from the bed. But Danzo doesn't think this problem is a problem. Although he promised Uchiha Itachi to keep his brother's life, he couldn't blame him for not using it. The best, even Uchiha Sasuke died here, that is the most perfect result. It's a pity that he originally wanted to use Sasuke to blackmail Itachi if he didn't get the order to take care of Sasuke. Probably this is the only flaw in the plan. But Uchiha Itachi had already entered, and he didn't think the man would betray him at this point. He is a genius. Even when he was old, he could think about problems from the point of view of Hokage. People praise each other so much, but the more such a person, the less fearful it is. Danzo even thinks Itachi has a mental illness. Naruto's angle? Even if you are standing there, what can you see? It's just a foolish loyalty to Konoha, someone who can't change anything. It's about to start, right? Withdrawing his thoughts, Danzo calmly took roots and said to Aburame. It should be coming soon. We will go in immediately when the news comes in. Aburame took root and nodded. As a guard, he felt the ambition of Lord Danzo. But what can be done in the body? Lord Danzo's words are orders. Even if he ordered the attack to be his own, he can only do so. Coming, at this moment, there was a sudden sound in front of him. But to Danzo's surprise, the sound was not the desperate roar made when humans died tragically, but it turned into a puzzling, uniform footstep. Gradually, the footsteps approached. When countless pairs of Sharingan stared straight at them, emitting a red light, Danzo's face changed by the way. He saw familiar faces. Walking at the forefront of the team is Uchiha Fugaku, the patriarch of the Uchiha clan. At this moment, he is like a leading brother, supported by countless younger brothers behind him. What happened to him? He chose to rebel, but what Danzo cares most about is the other person next to Fugaku. A dead man. Outstanding performance in the Third Ninja War, Shisui, known as the instantaneous Uchiha genius. Isn't he dead? Why is he still here, and his eyes are intact? No, it is not intact. At this moment, Uchiha Shisui is only opening Sharingan with one eye, and the other eye is no different from ordinary eyes. The situation is wrong. Danzo probably understood what was posted by just looking at the situation. Back. No, you need to stand up and say something, at least figure out what the Uchiha clan wants to do now. Uchiha Fugaku, do you want to betray Konoha? One mouth is the village's first method of suppressing people, and this trick Danzo has tried repeatedly. But what made him desperate was that the other party didn't even intend to explain what he was still going forward. Directly hitting the patriarch almost meant, what about the other person who was sure to help destroy Uchiha? Danzo took a deep breath and spoke again. Uchiha Itachi, have you forgotten your mission? I give you one last chance to kill your father, otherwise I will regard you as a traitor. It's a command that makes people want to laugh. Itachi sighed involuntarily. Kill my own father. Sorry, Lord Danzo, I cannot accept this order, but if the target you want to kill is your father, I will definitely help you complete it. Oh no, your father seems to have died early, that's really a shame. Sighing again, Itachi seemed to feel sorry for Danzo's old father who couldn't handle it. But Master Danzo, the word traitor you mentioned is not recognized below. Because it belongs to Uchiha from beginning to end. His gaze gradually became sharp, and Itachi's three hooks spun rapidly. As the hooks shattered, Mangekyo of the new cow made Danzo's face suddenly change. Do they have Mangekyo? The old man is really miscalculating. Forced to be calm counting Shisui's eyes, the opponent can turn on Mangekyo with two people, and even Uchiha Shisui can turn on Susanoo Noppe. The situation seems a bit tricky. Sorry, Lord Danzo, you made a mistake again. But at this moment, Fugaku, who had been silent, finally stopped. It's just that his stopping did not let Danzo breathe a sigh of relief, and even made his heart beating wildly speed up again. It's not two people who own Mangekyo, but three. Guyu disappeared. For the first time, Uchiha showed his strength as a patriarch. Mangekyo, he also has. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 230. Take a good look at the battle between your father and your brother. In the original book, Uchiha Fugaku died until his death, and there was no idea that the higher-ups knew that he had Mangekyo Sharingan. It was a pair of special eyes, which was rumored to be able to see the future. After the Uchiha clan was destroyed, no one knew where Fugaku's eyes went. But now, as the patriarch of Uchiha, he actively exposed these eyes, using practical actions to tell Konoha's senior management what kind of enemy they're facing. Counting Shisui's eyes snatched by Danzo, there are three pairs of Mangekyo in front of Konoha at the moment. This is the Uchiha clan. They chose to break the boat and protect the legacy left by their ancestors in their own way. The situation in front of him is clear. Danzo also knows what's going on, and hurried back. Let him go head to head with the crazy Uchiha clan? Sorry, whenever this happens, he should hide in the dark command room at the root and wait for the storm to pass. Anyway, what happened after the Uchiha rebellion should be left to third generation. Send the third team to the rear of the Uchiha clan. As long as they catch the families of these people, they will be self-defeating. The second and fourth teams are responsible for blocking these people, mainly to contain them. I will notify third generation to lead Anbu's people to suppress them. As for the first team to protect me, the fifth team hid secretly to collect Sharingan from the Uchiha clan and proceeded according to the plan. As he stepped back, Danzo had done everything he planned to start ordering frantically. A group of lunatics, there was no reason to deal with you with fanfare before, now they are looking for death. With a cold snort, Danzo retreated quickly. He will not be angry because of Uchiha's rebellion. On the contrary, if Uchiha did, then he was right who advocated genocide again and again. It can only prove that Sarutobi's indecision has brought evil consequences to Konoha. One more chance to hit Sarutobi. Danzo retreated, leaving only some people at the root to resist, but the footsteps of the Uchiha clan were destined to never stop. Master Patriarch, I have some personal grievances that I want to resolve with Danzo. Seeing the direction of Danzo's retreat, Shisui took a deep breath and arched his hand at Fugaku. The meaning is obvious, he wants to find the other party for an explanation. Look at him clearly. Fugaku said lightly. After dealing with high-level managers for so many years, he knows exactly what Danzo is. And now, facing Uchiha who wants to leave Konoha, that person's first reaction is enough to explain the question. Yes, for us, the first thing is not about peace talks or force intimidation to protect Konoha, just thinking about running away by yourself. Such a person claims to be for the village. I can only say that I was blind before. Shisui said mockingly, because I am blind, I have to find my own light. I hope that the Patriarch can give his subordinates this opportunity. Do you want to find the light just because you are blind? Fugaku nodded. Accept your request, but as the Patriarch I want to correct the point you just said. This is not your own personal grievances, you who bear the name Uchiha are not alone. Taking a deep breath, Fugaku straightened his body and looked solemnly. Bright. As the Patriarch of the Uchiha clan, I gave the order to Uchiha Shisui. Be sure to take back your Patriarch of Light. Gritting his teeth, Shisui bowed fiercely. For the first time, he discovered that his Patriarch has never been as unreasonable as the rumors, and foreseeing exactly. On the contrary, only from the perspective of Uchiha clan can feel the greatness of the Patriarch, subordinates must do it. Nodding, Shisui rushed forward first. Take back the light that belongs to him, and the new light will guide him to a new path. This is his last stop in Konoha, not for Konoha, but for the Uchiha clan. Facing the root ninja, Shisui disappeared from their field of vision with just one body flicker technique and started chasing Danzo. He had already attacked first, and the people of Uchiha naturally moved. The anger of the next round begins to vent, and at the moment when the battle started, there was a huge sound from the rear of the Uchiha clan. Roar. Then, in the eyes of the doubting people, a shocking moment came. What it is? Really? I remember that position. Awful. Shocked comments came from the people of the Uchiha clan and followed their gazes. Go. Unbelievable things are presented in front of you. In the air, the body formed by the gathering of white bones is slowly rising, which is like polished white bones to people. A sense of spiritual oppression, coupled with a body that is hundreds of meters long and bone spurs extending from the body, the thing has been crushed from the outside. Jansong is protecting our family, there is no need to worry about the rear. Bone Dragon. This is too exaggerated, however, that thing should be the subordinate Jansong mentioned before. Yi Kimimaro is no doubt. Jansong is not a high-profile person, but since he has shown a high profile, he trusts Uchiha very much. Clan. Think that the existence of Uchiha clan is worthy of his high-profile clan. In order to live up to Kenzang's letter, Uchiha must fight with all his strength. This was Jianang's original words. Originally, he thought Jansong would create something to represent the identity of Jianian village's master. Now it seems that the impact is really strong enough. Since it is the adult, the safety of the rear can be completely relieved. Fugaku nodded, then took a deep breath and raised his hand. People, for Uchiha. Kill. The horn has sounded, and under the leadership of Uchiha Fugaku, the battle has sounded completely. It's about whether the Uchiha clan can get attention after they go to Jianian village. Fugaku will not hide his strength. The battle has just begun, and the dark Susanoo Nope has already come out. Far away, women, children, and elderly people who cannot fight are gathered in the clan behind Uchiha. At this moment, they all looked at the scary thing in the sky. People only saw the huge bone dragon, but the person sitting above the bone dragon didn't pay attention due to the position, but the protected Uchiha people who were closer to see clearly. Knight Kenpachi. But there is no one who can make Kimimaro completely surrender except Kenpachi. The child was retrieved by Kenpachi from Kirigakure a few years ago. Instead of taking Vice Admiral from Orochimaru's hand, Kenpachi gave him a new life. And Kimimaro did not live up to Kenpachi's expectations of him, becoming the first hollow fierce in Jianian village who can master the sword. Bone Dragon form Kimimaro, who possesses Dead Bone Pulse, is not weak in his own strength, and what restricts his growth is the bloodline disease of the Kei Yoruichi clan. It is not difficult for Kenpachi to solve bloodline disease. Transformation requires only one hollow. Use your own white Zanpakuto to bestow the abilities on the opponent to combine the imaginary with Dead Bone Pulse, and everything is a matter of course. As the father of two genius Uchiha, Uchiha Fugaku is obviously not weak. Looking at the battle in the distance with satisfaction, Kenpachi grinned without concealing his appreciation. Uchiha Fugaku is not weak, he is just good at hiding himself. The tribe who can become Uchiha is definitely not a weak one. Even in the original book, he only gave up the struggle and chose Cheng Quan's son after seeing the ending. But the world has been changed by Yi Bajian, for Uchiha and himself must fight unreservedly. That dark Susanoo Nope is his determination. The genius you were talking about, who else is there besides brother? Suddenly there was a naive voice nearby, and Sasuke, who was only 6 years old, blinked and asked curiously. He is unique among the Uchiha clan. At least being able to be invited by Kenpachi to stand on the bone dragon and admire the battle in the distance is enough to show that Kenpachi has enough interest in him. But even standing here, unlike other people's awe of Kenpachi and fear of bone dragons, Sasuke only feels warmth in Kenpachi's body. This kindness is very mysterious and unfounded, but Kenpachi knew that Sasuke probably felt the same aura from him. Unlike Itachi, Kenpachi is more aggressive than his brother. Think of him as an enhanced version of the older brother? Naturally, it's you. He grabbed the clothes on Sasuke's back and raised him in front of him, then put a finger on his forehead. Kenpachi had a smile that Sasuke couldn't understand. It hurts. Covering his forehead, Sasuke started yin and yang with a groan. No wonder I think you were like my brother, even I learned this trick. But for the sake of saying that I am a genius, I don't blame you. You deserve it. Pulling Sasuke, Kenpachi felt a little funny. As he said, Sasuke's character is not the type of long Aoshin since childhood. His change is entirely due to Itachi's Tsukuyomi and the effect of revenge on him. When he was a child, Sasuke was not so cold and even excited for a long time because of his father's compliment. It is such a child who has completely changed after suffering the genocide disaster. The desire for protection imposed on him by Itachi has completely changed his life. However, Kenpachi said he was a genius and didn't think he was wrong. Indeed, on the night of the genocide, he was eye-opening when all members of the clan died, and he was even the most embarrassing Shanguyu. But you have to think about how old Sasuke was at that time. Afterwards, he worked harder in his practice. Chunin took Kakashi's Chidori in just 1 month after taking the exam. After he defected and practiced with Orochimaru, he developed various other morphological changes that matched the millennium in 3 years, and even created his own destructive power. Strong lightning-style Kirin. That was the pinnacle of Sasuke. But his talent always seemed unworthy in front of Naruto's halo. Shanshu. Various balls came one after another, and Sasuke even began to doubt himself. After finally getting through to Mangekyo, only one 5-cage meeting has completely consumed his pupil power. But this is not to say that his pupil power is weak and easy to consume, but that he forcibly uses those eyes again and again to overconsume it. After all, it is normal for the 5 Shadows meeting's repeated battles to cause such a situation. Sasuke's talent is not weak, so Kenpachi calls him a genius. As for Fugaku, people like Indra and Uchiha Itachi will never be a waste. Watch carefully, your father and your brother's battle. Holding Sasuke in one hand, he placed him on his shoulder, and Kenpachi pointed to the distance. The pitch-black Susanoo Noppe was not obvious in the night, but his terrorist attack killed all the root ninjas that Danzo had left behind in just a few strokes. The human body can bear it. Encouraged by the Patriarch, the Uchiha's combat effectiveness has obviously improved to a notch, and this battle is destined to be remembered in history. What did you say? Boom. Naruto building. Having heard the movement in the distance, third generation was frowning and guessing what was going on, but when it came to pass. After Ling's root ninja finished speaking, he was completely dumbfounded. The Uchiha clan actually did it. This is completely different from his plan. Based on his observations, Danzo has already found Itachi, and he knows Uchiha Itachi very well. I don't think that person will be on the side of Uchiha. Everything should go smoothly. The demise of the Uchiha clan is certain. But now Uchiha's changes are unexpected. It's true, Naruto-sama. The Uchiha clan is fighting against the root ninja. It looks like he. Our goal is here. The exact news, Uchiha Itachi is in the rebel camp. The root ninja reports quickly. Really rebelled Sarutobi took a deep breath and stood up. Bold, but he really wants to know what the confidence of the other party's sudden rebellion is. This is Konoha. No family can fight against a shinobu village. This is why the war. During the Japanese period, Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara established Konoha. Ninja Village is a powerful organization composed of multiple families. This family can be compared, not even the Uchiha clan. The reason is simple. This matter is to see who does it first. If Konoha wants to destroy the Uchiha clan, I'm afraid Konoha's other families will not choose to. As a high-level person, they would not tell people in other families that this matter was done by them. That would only chill the bloodline family in Konoha, and make them fear the higher-ups from now on. They are the next to be destroyed, but if the Uchiha clan takes the lead, this concern will disappear. Other families Sarutobi can't guarantee that if the Uchiha clan kills the top and wants to gain power, one will not be recognized by people, so in order to prevent this from happening, those families will stand up and resist. This means that the Uchiha coup must fail. Thinking about this, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't panic. He waved his hand and began to give orders. Inform all the patriarchs of the Konoha clan that the Uchiha clan wants to seek power and request. He was also anxious for the assistance of Enbu assemble and kill with the old man. With sharp eyes, this shinobu awakened again. Unfortunately, he was wrong this time. Regime? The Uchiha clan has already put down that thing? This battle is just asking for an argument. Under this premise, those families will obviously not fight desperately and only one party will lose in the end. He is destined to be a loser. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 231 Konoha owes Uchiha a word, sorry. Fugaku. Do you know what you are doing? Konoha under the night sky has only 2 words to describe at this moment. That's chaos. When a group of lunatics driving Sharingan rushed to the Naruto building, Naruto felt the overwhelming sense of oppression again. Said it again, because on the battlefield before, he had already learned the fighting power of the Uchiha clan. It can be said with certainty that Konoha will definitely not be able to resist the impact of Cloud Shinobi Village without the fighting ability of the madman of the Uchiha clan. The border will also be defeated. This is true even if there is information given by a mysterious person. Uchiha made a great contribution. From this incident, Naruto saw a lot of things. So after he came back, he told the people as much as possible not to have grudges with the Uchiha clan. But the current scene was something he never expected. That family rebelled. Standing in the forefront, Narakajiu is next to the Akamichi and Yamanaka clan as the Alliance clan. Now he just wanted to convince Fugaku to turn back as much as possible. Bai Jing, as a former comrade in arms, he feels that he can still speak from his point of view. On behalf of the village, let the Uchiha clan refrain from such meaningless battles. Internal friction is Konoha's biggest enemy, and now Konoha absolutely can't withstand this kind of toss. You should know that regardless of the success or failure of the Uchiha clan coup, the final result will only bring destruction to Konoha. So this kind of irrational battle is not like what you did. Think about your family, think about your people, you should all know the result. Looking at Fugaku calmly, Narashika long persuaded her with all her heart. No one wants to fight with his own, he is the same. But Konoha's regime, 323, really cannot fall into the hands of the Uchiha clan. Gritting his teeth, Nara took a deep breath and his head spun quickly. And Fugaku, once you initiate a coup, the enemy you face is not only Konoha's high level. This is a fundamental difference. It was also the only reminder he could give as a former comrade in arms. Yes, this is the reminder from the highly intelligent Naruto. As a former comrade in arms, the only help, and this hint subtext is also easy to understand. That is, if the Uchiha clan does not move, it will be on the Konoha high-level side who is anxious, and Konoha will attack the Chiba clan sooner or later. However, due to the face, this kind of extermination fighting high level will definitely not look for help from other families when it takes action, and it will only make other families chill. Therefore, Uchiha will only deal with Konoha's Anbu and the Root Ninja, and there are still some uncertain factors. It is far better than fighting the entire village with a clan force now. I don't know how many times. This is an obvious reminder. The subtext is also very clear. Uchiha does not move. The final result is much better than now. At least he doesn't have to confront his former comrades with swords. This is also the kindness of Naruto. He didn't want to be an enemy of the Uchiha clan, but if it was a coup, he would have to take action. But the important thing is whether Fugaku can understand what he is saying. Thank you, Luju. Luisa's response from his comrades made Luju a sigh of relief, but he also admired Fugaku's wisdom. Does he really understand? It is indeed the patriarch who can command the Uchiha clan. Just think about it, Uchiha, a rebellious race, how can the patriarch who can hold everyone down is weak? However, Luju, you may be disappointed, but as soon as the conversation turned, Fugaku's words made Narashikahisa's heart come up in her throat again. But what? Could it be that the word Chiba Fugaku launched an attack on the premise that the coup d'etat was going to deal with the entire village? What is he going to do? What's the meaning? With dignified eyes, Narashikajiu has already made a gesture to Akamichiza and Yamanaka Heiichi. The cooperation of the Ino-Shika-Cho tribe has been quietly unfolded. As a comrade in arms who fought side by side with Uchiha, he has done everything he can do. Since the Uchiha clan has no possibility of turning back, it is necessary to prepare for battle. First of all, correct your mistake. Fugaku didn't panic, holding his shoulders calmly. The so-called coup d'etat is just what you think is a coup d'etat, but the outcome of this battle is victory or defeat, and it has no effect on the Uchiha clan. Konoha's regime. Luju, you underestimate Uchiha. That thing was not what the clan wanted for a long time. What does this rotten village and unfair system have to do with the Uchiha clan? Not a regime. Naruto was stunned for a long time. This time, he didn't understand what the Uchiha clan was going to do. Fighting, but not for a coup. What will he do? After returning to the village, you should be able to see it with your wisdom. The copyright of the novel resources belongs to the original author. The text is only. Please delete it within 24 hours after downloading. Please support subscribing to genuine novels and refuse to piracy. This novel is made by Dragon, Filu Novel Group 920138438. Internal Group 1142529731. More exciting Filu novels are in the hands of the owner. Welcome to the group. Compared to Uchiha walking on the tip of the knife, how moist your Nara clan has been. Take a deep breath, Fugaku's face is full of mockery. As the hero who repelled Cloud Shinobi Village, Shikajiu, I don't need to say more about what you got. The profit of each quarter, the expansion of the family land, Various benefits should be due, but you see the treatment of the Uchiha clan yet? The family land moved again, and what was originally due became a generous charity from the top. Even the guards' duties have become deprived first, and then given back to us. This is Konoha. Is it fair? Naturally unfair. Some words made Naruto bow her head. Yes. As the hero returning from the battlefield, Uchiha is always treated differently. The long-standing grievances are really hard to let go. But the Uchiha clan is not fighting for the government, so what is it for? Nara hasn't understood for a long time. Since she has suffered unfair treatment and wants to fight, she can still get. What's the point? Only the Uchiha clan can go into the abyss. An argument that Konoha owes to the Uchiha clan is what we really want. But Naruto, you can't give this statement. As a former comrade in arms, I give you a chance to choose. Sharingan turned slowly, and the arms that Uchiha Fugaku was holding slowly lowered. Either stand and watch or stand in front of the clan until death. How do you choose? Blow down. With an aura, Fugaku and the Uchiha clan behind him stepped on the ground at the same time. The strength of a group of people united together, enough to count the whole Konoha trembling. You want to express this? Does that mean? Nara sighed for a long time. He found that when he thought he knew that clan, the patriarch of that clan personally gave him a lesson. Originally Naruto thought that this patriarch was a man who can bend and stretch, and sometimes even forbear the existence of fear, but he was wrong. Forbearance is for the most powerful outbreak. This sentence is unreasonably correct on the Uchiha clan. But how should he choose? What the Uchiha clan wants is a statement, which obviously cannot be given by him. So, should he continue to stop him? Unfortunately, Uchiha did not give Ino Shikacho time to hesitate. The battle has already begun and they did not. There is time to waste here. Uchiha. A roar came from Fugaku's mouth, the scarlet Sharingan turned quickly, and his hands started fast printing. At the same time, the people behind him also began to seal. This is... When countless blazes soared into the sky, Naruto finally knew that it is not hesitating anymore. When? The reason is simple, he has seen this trick. If Uchiha is proud of anything other than pupil surgery, it is naturally fire style. And the super powerful fire style triggered by the joint printing of countless Zebos is named the Liaoyanji on the battlefield. Huo once fought with Cloud Shinobi Village for the first time, and the move released by all Uchihas together made them suffer. Uchiha Flame Array. The fire that burned everything to death. With this move, Nara Shikaiju knew that Uchiha Fugaku might have taken it seriously, then. The choice just given to him is also an ultimatum, Yanjen. The raging fire gathered into a huge tornado and struck forward. Every inch forward, the fire became more intense. Be fierce. This is the fire style jointly performed by all Uchiha, as long as there are enough people, unless you ask the second Hokage. Such super strong water is totally impossible to rely on them to contend for a little bit. Withdraw. Without further hesitation, Naruto immediately issued a retreat instruction. The Ino Shikacho tribe quickly left the battlefield, allowing the fierce flames to strike forward. For a long time, when the fire diminished slightly, the Uchiha clan moved forward again, but the Ino Shikacho tribe stood far away and looked at their backs. Do we really care about it? Yamanaka Kaiichi has a beautiful face. If Hokage-sama investigates it afterwards, we may be afraid. We have been at war with the Uchiha clan, but they are too powerful to stop them. Naruto shook her hair and let out a sigh. Is this cheating? He didn't think it was. The Uchiha flame formation, depending on the tribe of them, if they want to get down, I am afraid that there will be great casualties, so. Retreat is the best way. The battle in front of you is not to protect the village in World War II, but a civil war. 0. The civil war is too fierce and will only give others a chance to get in. Uchiha Fugaku can be crazy. He can't. He has to consider the changes in the shinobi world and the changes in Konoha after this battle. There is no doubt that no matter what Uchiha Fugaku wants to do, whether he can really get what he wants, Konoha will lose the Uchiha clan from today on. That clan's outstanding performance in the last war has lost Hyuga and Chiha's Konoha one after another. Do you have the strength to deal with other shinobu villages? In this regard, Naruto expressed concern. Want to say? Probably not only that. With a wry smile, Naruto followed with the people behind him from a distance. He wants to see the result of today. The Hokage building is within easy reach. And the advancing Uchiha clan finally stopped. In front of him, the real enemy finally appeared. Third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, the old man who controls everything Konoha. Uchiha Fugaku. With a gloomy expression on his face, third generation did not expect the Uchiha clan to come here faster than expected. I think so much soon. Even apart from the initial battle, they have not encountered any obstructions. Why? Do these families of Konoha hope that the Uchiha clan can succeed in seizing power? It's finally here. Is it a matchup? Fugaku sneered. He has only one role, that's the one who asked the Uchiha clan for an explanation. If you let Kenpachi use the analogy, you can think of the current Fugaku as Sasuke who resurrected the 4 Naruto in the future. After getting the truth and defeating Yakushi Kabuto with Itachi, Sasuke was lost again. At that time, Sasuke wanted to get the answer he wanted from the shadow mouth of the predecessor, and then figured out the method by himself, whether to destroy Konoha or save the ninja world. But Fugaku's role is somewhat different from Sasuke. Because he was the one who really participated in the whole incident, it was more true to use Uchiha's power to ask for an explanation from Hokage in person. There is only one question in his mind. Uchiha Fugaku, looking back now, the old man may not give you a chance. With the golden hoop in his hand, Sarutobi looked solemn. I don't want to listen to nonsense, interrupting Sarutobi Hiruzen's desire to tell the truth until now. He has no desire for this hypocritical Hokage position. First, the Uchiha clan doesn't care about the power you value and the position of Naruto. Second, this matter has nothing to do with Konoha's other ethnic groups. Standing here, we just want to get the answers we want from your mouth. Third, if this answer cannot be counted, Uchiha is satisfied at his own risk. Powerful. After Fugaku led the clan to kill those root ninjas, Mangekyo, which was relieved, turned on again. The cold shock 2.3 pulled Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression suddenly. Mangekyo. This is what Uchiha Fugaku has been hiding. Sure enough, the Nine Tails chaos has something to do with you. But at this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen actually took the lead in pouring dirty water. As soon as he spoke, he connected the Uchiha clan with the Nine Tails chaos that day. As Kenpachi said, face, he hadn't wanted it a long time ago. It's ridiculous. But his words did not make Fugaku angry or irrational, nor did he panic about being exposed. Looking at Sarutobi as if he was watching a beaming clown, Fugaku found that he had always looked high at Konoha and Hokage. No wonder Konoha has become like this. Hokage's heart is still like this, let alone those trash who are loyal to Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen, if Nine Tails were controlled by me, you would have died a long time ago. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not, it has nothing to do with the Uchiha clan. Call. The pitch black sequel can come out. Uchiha Fugaku no longer wants to waste his tongue. Under the mighty power, only anger was left in his eyes. Sihei was affected, and the boy next to him, his son Uchiha Itachi, who he valued, also took a step forward. The next moment the red Susanoo appeared around his body. This is the first successful display after consulting Shisui. But it is always the master. At this moment, two sentences of Susanoo appeared in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen at the same time. Then the roar of the two people shook the sky. Old dog, tell me. Why was the village built until now? Konoha, even with Hokage, have been targeting the Uchiha clan. Konoha, oh Uchiha, a word. I'm sorry. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 232 Kakashi. Please give me a new path. Fugaku's roar is like thunder. He is wantonly venting the unfair treatment Uchiha has received over the years. A blast of questioning also represents the heart of the Uchiha clan. Yes. Why? Why only the Uchiha clan will be treated differently? Why are you so wary of the people who contribute to Konoha and their lives? As the patriarch, Uchiha Fugaku still knows a little bit about the inside story. But regardless of the Uchiha clan or the Senju clan, the struggle left over during the Sengoku period should have ended when Konoha was established. So why extend those hatreds to Konoha? Because of Uchiha Madara. But when Uchiha Madara left, the people of their tribe did not choose to follow, and they have already expressed their position. Why should prejudice be imposed on the Uchiha clan? How hard they have been over the years. Uchiha needs an explanation, and Konoha's excuses. Those villagers who are like fools enjoy the peace brought by their Uchiha clan after fighting on the front line, but in turn show that kind of disagreement. Why? Have they forgotten why they can be so at ease? There is also the second Hokage Senju Tobirama. What qualifications does he have to impose the name of the evil family on the Uchiha clan? Being guarded everywhere, suspicion everywhere, unable to enjoy being a member of Konoha. These days are too hard. If they knew this was the result, they might as well fight Senju to the end from the beginning, and they would not establish the so-called Shinobu village. What did Shinobu bring? Apart from the expansion of the war, who is the protected party? The scale of the war has expanded, and the death toll has soared. So what is the significance of establishing Shinobu village? Or, if I left Konoha with Uchiha Madara, would the ending be different? Countless questions hovered in the Uchiha clan's mind, and finally turned into pure anger. Those anger that has nowhere to vent finally freezes on the Anbu ninja in front of him, and the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Oh wait, sure enough, even you can't give us the answer. The red and black Susanoo Nope pushed forward, and the Uchiha people behind them also fully aroused their fighting spirit. Is it an unavoidable battle? Taking a deep breath, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked calmly. Perhaps he once wrote in Konoha's textbook that he was the strongest Hokage, but it did not mean that he was swollen and fat. He still has the strength, and he is still an upright Kage level. Grandmaster 5 lines of ninjutsu, he used to be called ninjutsu, Doctor of Ninjutsu. These titles are not bragging to get. Susanoo, Mr. Tobirama, you should have anticipated this situation before, so the Saruma has become a wishful golden hoop from when I was learning with you, waiting for Sarutobi's instructions. The main emphasis is on this direction. With a wave of his hand, the stick suddenly became bigger and stretched and swept across the two Susanoo quickly. At the same time, Sarutobi's heart was thinking about what Uchiha Fugaku said just now. Is the Uchiha clan what they wanted? Sarutobi knew exactly what the answer was. The problem of that group is not completely aroused in this generation. Perhaps the moment when Tobirama-sensei, Konoha's first generation of Hokage Uchiha Madara, became Hokage, the foreshadowing was already buried. It's sad. The first generation that advocates understand each other, but another extremist younger brother. In any case, he never believed that the Uchiha clan could be honest with people. Even if Uchiha Madara agreed to let go of his hatred and establish Konoha with Senju Hashirama, Senju Tobirama still doubted it, and even thought Uchiha Madara had a certain purpose to agree. Of course, this is not Senju Tobirama either. The hatred left over from the Sengoku period was too great. The younger brothers of Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama died at the hands of the Uchiha clan, while all the younger brothers of Uchiha Madara died at the hands of the Senju clan. Mutual understanding? Can it really be done? And even after Master second generation became Hokage, the suppression of the Uchiha clan has never stopped. The biggest trick is to let the Uchiha clan act as Konoha's guard. Power will inflate, and the role of punishing others will always be resented and dissatisfied. This also causes the Uchiha clan to never be recognized by the villagers, and thus loses the opportunity to appear in Hokage in disguise. And Sarutobi Hiruzen, he just aroused those dissatisfaction thoroughly, and then forced the Uchiha clan to perish. So the demise of that clan is already doomed. This is the answer Uchiha Fugaku wants to get, but he can't say it. The reason is simple: this is not just him and Uchiha Fugaku, but the entire Uchiha clan and countless ninjas loyal to Konoha. Sometimes Sarutobi is envious of Danzo. Although he seems to have little power, he has a group of loyal subordinates who want to say what he wants to say and do what he wants to do for the village matter. But he is Hokage, and his people are loyal to the village, not to him. At this time, if he explodes the history of Konoha's struggle with Uchiha, it might be creepy. It is often that simple for the village to deal with an ethnic group. Blow down. The huge golden hoop smashed on Itachi and Fugaku's Susanoo, but Fugaku's black Susanoo grasped it firmly, and Itachi's Yata mirror also blocked it. Obviously this blow did not let them back down. But as a result of this stick, Sarutobi Hiruzen obviously also knows that if it is so simple to fall, then Susanoo will not be hailed as a pronoun of destruction. The legendary Susanoo is the representative of destruction. To be honest, Sarutobi Hiruzen has never seen what Susanoo is like, because everyone who saw that move is dead. But even if it is a mature body, the sense of oppression given to people is strong enough. Attack. Lifting up the stick again, Sarutobi Hiruzen gave his order. Today is destined to be a bloody battle. He and Uchiha can only exist on one side. With an order, countless Anbu ninjas rushed into the Uchiha clan from all directions, and the battle began completely. However, the two masked figures in the distance were unmoved. One of the three-eyed jade under the mask was slowly turning. Among Konoha's Sharingan, except for Danzo, only Hitaki Kakashi. "Senior, won't you help?" and a masked man next to Kakashi asked anxiously. He is Yamato, and since he was rescued by Kakashi and got out of the roots with the help of third Hokage, he has always regarded third Hokage as a person he respects. The form was tense right now, but he realized that Kakashi didn't even intend to make a move, but just stood there quietly and watched. "Why should I go?" It was Kakashi's answer that made Yamato a little bewildered. After entering Anbu, he thoroughly understood who Kakashi-senpai was. That's a guy who is not at peace with his company for the task. Now, Master Naruto ordered an attack. Why did he choose to stay still? Senior, Yamato didn't understand what Kakashi was going to do. Ninjas are bound to execute orders, but I have a question I want to know. Kakashi tilted his head, and Yamato, who looked at the three hooks, tightened in his heart. That is this battle really necessary? Even if you fight and fight to the death, what is the point of winning or losing? You have also heard that that group did not come for the coup d'état, and is completely uninterested in Konoha now. After a pause, there was a sneer on the face under Kakashi's mask. From what Uchiha Fugaku, the patriarch of the Uchiha clan just now, said, it is obvious that Konoha and the Uchiha clan are inherently contradictory. Uchiha Fugaku is here to ask for an explanation. The change in third generation's expression is personally obvious. He knows that statement very clearly in his heart, but he just doesn't want to say it. Call third generation directly, not master third generation. Yamato has a heart. He suddenly discovered that today's predecessors are some strangers. But it's undeniable that what Kakashi-senpai said makes sense. Master third generation must know something, but he just didn't say it. He would rather fight than say those things. Why on earth? Are there some secrets that are more important than human life? Today's battle, whether it is Uchiha or Konoha, will suffer heavy casualties. If Naruto-sama insists not to give an explanation, I am afraid the battle will continue forever. Can Konoha really accept this result? Yeah, Lord third generation, why don't you say, it's already here? Yamato sighed, his eyes a little confused. He knows, but he can't say it, it's ridiculous. Kakashi patted Yamato's shoulder and gently took off the mask. It's like my father's death of a cow. He knows everything, but he just doesn't stop it and does nothing. He who didn't act was the culprit. Kakashi said the last sentence through gritted teeth. Over the years, he has been investigating the secret of the death of Hitaki Tsukumo, his father. Finally, he found the key clue. That was the companion who had been rescued by his father. He wanted to know what caused them to change their faces so quickly and betray the savior so simply and neatly. After many investigations, he finally understood. That is the decision and coercion of the high level. The existence of his father threatened the village, although Kakashi didn't understand where the threat came from. But just now, when Uchiha Fugaku came here with the Uchiha clan, he suddenly realized. Existence is both a threat. Even if you do nothing, you will not be regarded as a threat. This is true of my father, and the same is true of the Uchiha clan. They have done nothing and are still suspected. This is what the father and the Uchiha clan have in common. I want to understand. All the doubts in my mind, Kakashi thought it through at this moment. Existence is both a threat. Probably the prestige of his father has faintly overshadowed the trend of Hokage, or the high-level officials simply wanted to beat his father's reputation, but did not expect that his father would commit suicide because of this incident. The former Kakashi didn't understand why his father chose so, but now he understands it thoroughly. Father is not a weak person, his death is an inner struggle. That was a struggle to prove his innocence. Use death to tell the higher-ups, tell those with ulterior motives, that Hitaki Shumao is alive and honest, and one is only for Konoha. But in the end, his death was called cowardly, and even Konoha's memorial tablet was not engraved with his name. In pain, like Kakashi, after finally understanding his father, he made a decision. Walking up to Yamato, Kakashi gave the last smile. This is his only friend in Konoha, except for Guy. He didn't say too much about Guy, because such a person is not suitable for knowing the darkness like Dao. But Yamato is different. If you want to help third generation, go, I have something to confirm. If you see something clearly one day, you can come to me. Whoosh. Before Yamato understood what was going on, Kakashi had already left the spot and went straight to the Uchiha clan. There was still a huge bone dragon hovering in the sky. According to his analysis, there was only one person who dared to make such a big battle. For some answers, he needs to find that person to confirm. Knight Kenpachi. Falling under the bone dragon, feeling the terrifying impact, Kakashi couldn't help swallowing. What the hell is this? Coming. Calmly lowered his head and glanced at Kakashi. Kenpachi looked back at the battle in the distance, while Sasuke on his shoulder showed a curious look. Well, the matter of my father has been investigated. Everything is Konoha's decadent system. I don't hate it, but I don't want to be content with it. I don't want to let the garbage that makes all the conspiracies linger. So please tell me, what should I do? Puff through. Kneeling on the ground, the proud ninja finally lowered his head. He came here, hoping that Kenpachi could give him a new path. Understand? Without going to see Kakashi, Kenpachi let out a sigh. In that case, stay in Konoha. Stay in Konoha. Kakashi was stunned. He has come directly to Kenpachi. Just want to give up everything here and start again, or which? One day, under the leadership of the man in front of him, he completely destroyed the village and vented it. But let yourself stay in Konoha. You also said that you were not reconciled to those hypocritical people who continue to pretend to be high-minded. This is an opportunity. Let you stay here to perform the task. In the future, I need you to teach someone. His eyes flickered. Kenpachi looked at Kakashi again. Uzumaki Naruto. Let him know that he has been bullied and has to fight back. You only need to teach him this one truth, and leave the rest to me. With a grin, Kenpachi's eyes were full of mockery. Then tell him at a specific time that his father told him this truth. I have been bullied, and I have to fight back. Let him wake up from his dream and truly understand the world. That's all, Blacken? Who knows the human heart? Withdrawing his gaze falling on Kakashi, Kenpachi lightly tapped his foot. Kimimaro. Closer, I want to see Sarutobi Hiruzen's face clearly. Bai Jing ate a bit too much at night and feels vomiting. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 233. Sorry, what I do, what is the rule? Sorry, Naruto. As for the other children, they should all be in the arms of their parents, waiting for the storm to pass. As your father, the fate imposed on you must have caused you a lot of hardship. Now as a dead person, the only thing I can do for you is to make you sleep well. In a loft not far from the center of Konoha, Namikaze Minato with yellow hair looked at the child on the bed with bitterness, pain and depression on his face, maintaining the bed-sized barrier. And in the enchantment, a 60-year-old child was sleeping peacefully in the bed. The turmoil from the outside did not pass into the barrier. Probably, as a father, Namikaze Minato can do at this time, is not to wake up his child in his sleep. Because when Naruto woke up and saw the empty room, his heart would be even more empty and lonely. That kind of pain is unbearable. It was also the restraint that he had imposed on Naruto. Regret it? Have some. This age should have grown up happily, but was burdened with burdens that no one else did. Third generation lord, didn't you promise that you will take good care of Naruto? Then why, let others know that he has 9 tails in his body? Stroking Naruto's hair, Minato's heart throbbed. This question, he really wants to ask Sarutobi Hiruzen. He also wanted to know why he didn't disclose the fact that Naruto is his son. I'm worried that I have many enemies, will anyone anger Naruto? But Master Third Generation, not to mention that there are few examples of things that anger family members like ninja, just say the number of Anbu ninjas you put around here and the people watching around Naruto's daily life. Are they not out of protection? It only releases negative news that is unfavorable to Naruto, but does not let people know that his parents died in order to protect the village. You are Hokage. You promised to protect Naruto. Lowering his head, Minato sighed and looked at his son. Naruto, what kind of path will you take in the future? Believe, don't shake your heart. Make good use of the power of Nine Tails to protect the village. Stick yourself. If it's before, I hope you don't care about the process of growing up. But now, lifting his head and looking out the window, Minato's eyes were filled with confusion. This Konoha, why should I protect it? What are the Uchiha clan doing now? Rebellious? No, they are fighting for the unfair treatment they have suffered? Why did that clan become like this? The dead people hiding in the dark can see more. Konoha. The reason lies in Konoha. The so-called mutual understanding, everyone unites together to deal with the enemy. Since the death of Lord Second Generation, Seping has completely changed his taste after Third Generation took the position. The Sarutobi family? Shimura clan? It's so funny. In the Sengoku period, how many people from these two groups together could occupy a large area of Konoha before the Nine Tails Rebellion? Naruto's incompetence will make the village incompetent. Namikaze Minato firmly believes this, so now he suddenly felt that it really didn't make much sense to guard a village that was rotten to the bones. As Kenpachi said, if you want to protect, you might as well change it. Just like now, even if someone stands up and completely destroys the Uchiha clan, Konoha's power will still fall back into weakness. Hyuga is gone. Uchiha is gone. What is left that Konoha can take out? One person's squeeze will eventually lead Konoha to destruction. Sighed. Minato retracted his gaze, set the time for the barrier to disappear, then turned and left. I really want to stay by my son's side forever. Wait for me, Naruto. To be someone's teacher. Watching the man sitting on the bone dragon going away, Kakashi was lost in thought. You have to fight back if you are bullied. Thoroughly recognize this world, this village? Don't live in a dream. But to be honest, in my memory, only Obito has this mentality. But Obito is dead. Who did Kenpachi teach me? I can only stay in Konoha. It seemed that the adult didn't mean to let Konoha be destroyed. Thinking about it carefully, Kakashi also knew the reason. Indeed, with Kenpachi's current strength, it doesn't take much to destroy Konoha, just. If you want such a horrible shockwave, you can do it a few more times. He didn't do that. Was he preparing for what? Kakashi frowned. He couldn't see through Kenpachi's heart. But this is also normal. If it is easily seen through, it is not a true king. For that adult, he only needs to obey the orders. Taking a deep breath, Kakashi disappeared into the night. The bone dragon continued to move forward, and behind, followed by the old, weak, sick and disabled groups of the Uchiha clan. These people couldn't fight. It was a burden that Itachi entrusted him to take care of. But it's hard to imagine that people's life-saving battles are often to protect these burdens. Because as long as they are still alive, sooner or later they will become such a burden, and they need future generations. Protection of. This will to protect will continue and turn into an indelible spirit. Probably this is the original will of fire. It's a pity that Sarutobi Hiruzen, who wrote the will of fire, has forgotten his original mentality. Forgot his mission as a shadow. Just like now, he would rather choose to fight than tell the Uchiha clan that they are in the end. What happened, brother, father? Above the bone dragon, Sasuke, who was put on his shoulder by Kenpachi, finally saw the scene ahead up close. The battle was fierce. The eyes of Itachi, who had just become acquainted with Susanoo, had begun to bleed, and his father Uchiha Fugaku fell. It was a lot stronger, and he grabbed the ape demon to fight back. Sarutobi is not bad, but if Itachi and Fugaku, who fought with Sasuke later, cooperate, Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely die. But now, he has just opened Wanwajien, and he is only familiar with using Amaterasu and Tsukuyomi several times. And Sarutobi's blood has already been laid down. Hundreds of Anbus cooperated with the secret family loyal to Naruto. Come, let the Uchiha clan fall into a bitter battle. Challenge a shinobu village with the power of a clan. This move is crazy, and from the beginning, Uchihas did not choose to surprise this. People guessed the result. Uchiha gave Sarutobi Hiruzen plenty of time to prepare. Except for the Ino Shikacho tribe, all other secret art families appeared. The numbers are at a disadvantage, and Uchiha, who is under siege, is fighting with all his strength. What is that? What a big bone is the final weapon of the Uchiha clan. I saw that thing appearing in the Uchiha clan before. In the ground. Look, there is someone on there. I thought it was used to protect the clan land, but I didn't expect that thing could move. A monster bigger than 9 tails. When the bone dragon approached, everyone on the court put down their weapons. Just as the feeling of oppression that is even more exaggerated than 9 tails appeared, Their hearts were already occupied by fear. Especially when they saw the person on the bone dragon, their desire to fight has completely disappeared. Knight Kenpachi give Konoha the man who brought destruction and disaster. He actually came. From the direction he came, the wise man already knew something. There is no doubt that he is on Uchiha's side. Knowing this a long time ago, why did they stop the Uchiha clan? That's a lunatic. The lunatic who can destroy Konoha alone. Yes. Only a madman can associate with a madman. Yi Kenpachi is a madman, and the Uchiha clan is also a madman. Oh, Sarutobi old dog, see how you bullied my subordinates. Throwing Sasuke aside, Kenpachi hugged his shoulders and began to feel yin and yang. The Uchiha clan belongs to Konoha Shinobi village. When did they become your subordinates? Sarutobi said coldly, or the Uchiha clan already had plans to collude with the enemy? Tien launched an attack on Konoha under your control? Bang bang bang. Applauded, Kenpachi grinned. As expected of you, old dog. With 2 sentences, I took away my responsibilities, and by the way, the Uchiha clan had already collided with the enemy. So you want to show that you are actually forced to fight. An old dog in one bite. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes are red. This kind of insult is unprecedented. In the presence of so many ninjas in Konoha, he called Hokage an old dog. You, just about to refute something, but the man suddenly pointed his finger at him. That gesture. Sarutobi's pupils contracted. Shush, shut your mouth or you will die, because you are not qualified to speak with me. A murderous intent flashed in his eyes, and Kenpachi's body slowly floated into the air. Old dog, you just said it was collaborating with the enemy, right? Naturally collaborating with the enemy. Sarutobi stared at Kenpachi blankly, and suddenly a sense of danger emerged in his heart. Then you mean that Konoha and Jienian village are hostile, right? If this is the case, can I change my mind to explain what you just said? Yes, in your opinion, the village I built as a betrayer should naturally be a hostile barrier, but you don't seem to figure it out. The person standing in front of you is the absolute leader of Jienian village. With a solemn gaze, Kenpachi's face gradually became grim. While Saping felt the change in Kenpachi, Kimimaro raised his wings and soared into the sky with a loud noise. Konoha's buzzing. Konoha, are you declaring war on Jienian village? Is it right? Declare war? Has the meaning been misinterpreted? It doesn't seem to be the case. The leader of one village told the leader of another Shinobu village that we are hostile. That seems to mean declaring war. No, this is a misunderstanding. After swallowing, Sarutobi Hiruzen finally woke up. It turned out that this man had been looking for his own flaws. As long as the hostile relationship and the declaration of war are established, then the reason for this man to destroy Konoha before turning his hands is completely sufficient. But why? It is clear that this man who does not follow the rules does not need a reason at all to do things. Why now? Do you have to find a reason? Sarutobi was a little confused. Kansong, this is the battle between Uchiha and Konoha, you. Itachi suddenly spoke. The purpose of today's battle is Ji Jianang's determination to see Uchiha. Although it was tragic enough, he felt that it was far from enough. Okay, Itachi. K does not need so many dead soldiers. Whether it's determination or wanting to gain heavy conviction, I have already seen it. But the argument you want to ask for, and the excuse from the dog, has not yet arrived. This is my mistake. After a pause, Kenpachi tilted his head to look at Sarutobi. Just look at him, how he lives like a dog. Dog again. Sarutobi gritted his teeth. He wanted to refute, but he didn't have the courage. What about Danzo? Where is he? Why do you have to face this man yourself every time? Forget it, just don't hear it, Ya Kenpachi. It's actually a misunderstanding about Konoha's declaration of war on Jienian village you just said. I don't mean to declare war unilaterally. Considering your previous identity, I just think of some not so good things. So this matter has nothing to do with Jienian village, it's a private matter between Uchiha and Konoha. Taking a deep breath, Sarutobi Hiruzen tries to relax his hanging heart. The other party wants to find a reason to shoot, then I just won't give it. Although I don't know why that man has changed so much, it's a good thing for Konoha. Indeed, he has the courage to start a battle with Cloud Shinobi village, but Jienian village cannot. Not afraid of the experiment in Jienian village, just afraid of the man in front of you. No matter which Shinobu village, I don't want to be an enemy of a man who can destroy his own village with one hand. You were wrong again, old dog. Still looking at Sarutobi calmly, Kenpachi said again. Wrong again. Sarutobi frowned. Didn't you just hear that? What I call Uchiha, but my subordinate. If Konoha dared not ask for it, Jienian village accepted it. If Konoha can't believe it, Jienian village can give it trust. The novel, old dog, I am different from you. I cherish every warrior who is willing to fight for his faith, no matter he. Regardless of their personalities, I can make the best use of them. Quote. Okay Zhao, these words are in the heart of the Uchiha clan. Countless ninjas have left tears. Relative to the answer I want to know from Sarutobi Hiruzen. This is what they want. Letter 1000. The same bloody battle, why should they always be suspected? Just now, They have shown their determination to want a new life, so is the head of Jonyan village. Caller. Naturally also give them a gift. Touching his chin, Kenpachi randomly pointed at an Anbu ninja on the ground, and in an instant he flew to. It seemed that something was holding him in the air. 3 seconds to consider and apologize to Uchiha. Quote. 1. Quote. Boom. Before Sarutobi looked back on the gods, the Anbu ninja exploded in a weird moment. The blood mist spread and fell on Sarutobi's old face. This time, he was completely angry. Yi Kenpachi. Why don't you follow the rules? Just now you just made excuses for not declaring war. Why? Change so fast. Quote. Yes. Just now, this man was very disciplined, so Sarutobi argued that Konoha did not declare war on the grounds. But what does he mean now? Killed an Anbu ninja in front of you. Oh, interesting came. Kenpachi grinned. Don't get me wrong. I asked you that question because I don't want to declare war. It's just a matter of being preempted by your waste. Quote. Should I do this kind of thing first? So, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Konoha's third Hokage, listen up. As the leader of Jonyan village, I will officially declare war on Konoha from today. Boom, boom, boom. Countless Anbu ninjas exploded in place. Sarutobi Hiruzen, flawed, passionate and angry, like a spear. You didn't call 1, 2, 3. Why don't you follow the rules? Sorry, what am I doing? What is the rules? Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 234. The next time I meet, it will be when Konoha destroys. Is it the rules? Sarutobi smiled. He thoroughly understood that he was being fooled, and that he was being fooled very thoroughly. From the beginning, the man had calculated everything and viewed the conflict between Konoha and the Uchiha clan from the perspective of a bystander. But this bystander was not qualified. Sarutobi affirmed that Uchiha's sudden hardening was due to Kenpachi's support. He is very clear about Danzo's plan of extermination. Although Danzo thinks he has done it cleanly, the content of the plan cannot be hidden from him. Everything in the original will be carried out according to his plan, and then he will play the benevolent Hokage and monitor Uchiha Sasuke in the name of protection. Yes, is indeed acting. But these years have passed, and he has already entered the play in this role. Danzo is the root hidden in the dark. He is the light that shines on Konoha. Teacher Tobarama once said that Konoha can rest assured if he and Danzo are there. Vaguely, he understood what Yi Kenpachi wanted to do. It is nothing more than tearing up the disguise of being a light, so that everyone can see what kind of person he is. But Yi Kenpachi has always forgotten a little bit. Very important point. That is, he hadn't wanted the face stuff a long time ago. To intimidate my subordinates, let myself apologize to Uchiha, and let me deny what I did. Impossible. Apologizing to Uchiha means that he admitted that Konoha deliberately targeted the Uchiha clan. Admit that he has been calculating his own people all these years, admit that all he did is wrong. Let him bow his head. How will he play the role of shadow in Konoha and manage this village in the future? So now, he would rather feel the bloody smell in the air than lower his head to admit his mistake to the Uchiha clan. People can be cultivated if they die. But if he comes down from the position of Hokage again, and wants to go back to regain control of power, I am afraid it will be difficult to reach the sky. Take his boss this time as an example, you can see a lot of things. The fourth generation is dead, and the younger generation doesn't give much strength. He can climb up by taking advantage of the opportunity, but even if he starts again, he finds that the eyes of the people around him have changed slightly. It was a kind of suspicion, but fortunately, he had a good disguise, and he was still the Hokage that everyone loved. However, Kenpachi's several actions during the night after he took the post made his prestige fall to the bottom. If he stepped down this time, he might forcibly retire. Only in this matter, he absolutely cannot regress. Master Third Generation, please apologize to the Uchiha clan. But just after Sarutobi Hiruzen sorted out his clues, a desperate voice reached his ears. At this moment, he was stunned. The person who spoke to him turned out to be his trusted Anbu subordinate. What's the matter with this person? Are his bones soft? What are you talking about? The old man hasn't succumbed yet. Are you not even as good as my old bone? An angry Sarutobi pointed at the subordinate who had asked him to apologize and shouted. At first glance, there is really nothing wrong with this. A handful of old bones of third Hokage are insisting on resisting, and the defeat of his men looks very angry. But he overlooked a prerequisite. Hokage-sama, you are not the one who died. Naturally you can hold on. But what about us? Youngest, what do they do when we die? There is no threat to life, but we can't, we have wives and children. Yeah, Lord Third Generation, you're. Master Third Generation, you apologize. Thump. When the surrounding Anbu ninjas knelt on the ground and even asked Sarutobi to give you. When the Zebo clan apologized, the atmosphere in the audience was pushed to a climax. The Konoha Dark Reveal song directed by Yi Kenpachi finally kicked off. It's kind of interesting. Landing on the ground, Kenpachi touched his chin and looked at the scene with appreciation. Brother sword. Konoha's seen Kenpachi smiled, and Sasuke next to him obviously had some thoughts. I want to ask what happened to Kenpachi, but I suffer from the name Kenpachi, and some don't know how to speak. Sasuke, the person next to you is the benefactor of the Uchiha clan, and the object of allegiance in the future. Fugaku, who is relatively close, turned his head and said very harshly. It's also enough for the Uchiha clan to lay down their lives. Itachi also added, and the heavy words of the two made Shizuo swallow a little afraid. The water looked towards Kenpachi. He was still very young and didn't know the meaning of his brother's and father's words. He just thought that if he did that, well, this man who just held himself up to see the scenery will be farther away from him. With worry in his eyes, Sasuke let go of Kenpachi's little hand aggrieved. Aye. This kid looks cute. Kenpachi smiled and patted Sasuke's head with his hands. The kid didn't know that he was in his. At this age, she was able to take her sister as a betrayal. However, the growth process of each person depends on his own storage environment. Not everyone is a cosmopolitan. Itachi Chiba, not everyone can become Kenpachi. The love from the family that Sasuke should have is what he deserves, but he also wants to get his father. The recognition of desperate practice. Talent is determined by nature, but you will work hard without betraying yourself. If you call it, just like your brother, or if you are interested, I can accept you. My disciple. Quote. Disciple. For an instant, Itachi and Fugaku's pupils contracted, and then they kept winking at Sasuke. What do brother and father mean? Sasuke scratched his head a little puzzled. Master, I really like the feeling of staying with the man next to me. It's very relaxed and kind. It should be drawn into feelings. Thinking purely, Sasuke knelt down respectfully. Master, follow along. It's like taking Sasuke as a disciple now, but with a flash of inspiration, he has his own actions. Pulling Sasuke up, Kenpachi pointed his finger at the chaotic Konoha camp ahead. At your age, I have nothing to teach you. In actual combat, you can only determine your growth direction in Jonyan village, but I can leave it to you first. This makes sense. Quote. It's up to you to understand this truth. With a slight smile, Kenpachi took Sasuke step by step into the air. It has nothing to do with physical skills, it is Shinigami's unique means of flying in the air. Did you see them? Just now, these people were still holding each other against the Uchiha clan against you, but when they understood some truths, they realized that no matter how hard they struggle in the face of absolute power, they are wrong, and they understand that they are weak. After the enlightenment that the scholar had, he actually began to hesitate his life. Quote. No one wants to die. Especially when dying in this kind of internal fighting, the outcome of the Uchiha clan is already doomed in their eyes. Whether it is success or failure, the Uchiha clan does not belong to Konoha, so they have lost their belief in fighting. So they lost, and Hokage, who was forcing them to survive, apologized to the Uchiha clan. Quote. Sasuke, tell me what you think. Looking down at his disciple, Kenpachi narrowed his eyes. He is telling a simple story, a typical case of success and failure. Although Sasuke is small, he should understand the truth. There are countless possibilities in this case. As long as Sasuke can see one, he is qualified. I don't think it makes any sense. After a long time, Sasuke shook his head suddenly. Sasuke doesn't know why these people are attacking Uchiha, or why they want water now. Fire compatible. Maybe Sasuke is still young and I don't understand what's going on inside, but Sasuke doesn't want to see. His family fell in a pool of blood, so Sasuke wanted to go down and fight them hard now. Quote. Staring angrily at Sarutobi Hiruzen, Sasuke squeezed his fist. But Sasuke knew that mixing Sasuke in would only cause confusion for his brother and father, so Sasuke. I can't go even if I'm very angry. Quote. Of course. I also hate myself for being too weak. Lifting his head suddenly, Sasuke looked into Kenpachi's eyes and then bowed. Quote. Master, please grant me the power to protect my family and protect you. Has it changed completely? Kenpachi smiled. Sure enough, you can't expect Sasuke to tell the truth, but sometimes this kind of petty anger is the cutest. Yes. How can you choose to forgive each other after being beaten? Fighting back is the man's choice. Click. Pointing his finger on Sasuke's forehead, Kenpachi points down to the nearest to Sarutobi Hiruzen. There are two loyal Anbus who have opened their mouths for Sarutobi to apologize. Staring at them has become the first lesson for my disciples. Don't vomit. If you vomit, go back and find your brother. Master, what do you mean? Sasuke followed Kenpachi's gaze in confusion. Boom. The moment he turned his head, the man exploded in place without warning. The smell of blood rushed to his face, and something fragmentary fell on the side. At that moment, Sasuke's pupils starting to zoom in, the whole person trembles. Don't vomit. Remember, your master has successfully hacked Konoha to death when you were so old. Hundreds of Anbu ninjas. Quote. And there are 10 tasks you have to complete this year. Am I a gentle person? Kenpachi grinned and looked at Itachi behind him. My stupid stinky brother, do you think I did the right thing? Jianzhang. Itachi swallowed hard, but couldn't refute Kenpachi's actions. No matter how protected the flowers in the greenhouse are, they can't give full play to their brilliance. And now Kensang is Sasuke's master, so it will be fine to entrust him in the future. Much softer. In fact, what Sasuke is experiencing now is much gentler than the path he set for Sasuke. Master. I didn't vomit. Fisted tightly, Sasuke looked at Kenpachi strongly. If you can't go through this ordeal, how can you protect your family? When the guard turns into power, the effect is extremely terrifying. Kenpachi nodded and said nothing. Starting today, Sasuke's trajectory has completely changed. Whether the battle between Indra and Ashura will continue, Kenpachi doesn't know, he only knows his exist. Naruto can't beat Sasuke. As for whether the two little ghosts will still have fetters, Kenpachi doesn't bother to care. Because whether it's Sasuke or Naruto, they are just themselves, not Indra and Ashiyu. Luo, and even if they gain the power of Sage of Six Paths, they will not be his opponents in the end. Even before Sage of Six Paths took action, he could perceive and obliterate the unfilial son. The soul in the bone makes Kenpachi value filial piety. So he changed Itachi, changed Uchiha. But if you move forward, you don't like the old man in the original book. No matter what the purpose is, he cannot forgive those who deal with the mother. Shaking his head, Kenpachi didn't bother to think about it. Those things were still far away from him, and there was only one thing that needed to be dealt with right now. Apologize. Sarutobi's body is a bit stiff, and the sound of pleading around it hurts like a needle pierced into the heart. Self-inflicted. The current situation is very clear. If you don't apologize, the Anbu ninjas around you will be killed, and those family members will eventually anger him and cause scolding. To apologize, he affirmed Uchiha, denied Konoha's sinner, blew himself up for his dark history, and asked everyone to execute it publicly. What should I do? Why did things become like this? Teacher Tobirama. All I did was for Konoha. What's wrong with me? Sarutobi thought in confusion. For Konoha, he watched Danzo dispatch Senju Nawaki, who had just graduated, to the battlefield, killing all of the Senju clan's clan and family, and completely letting the Senju clan's unstable factors disappear. For Konoha, he cannot allow Hatake Tsukumo's prestige to continue to rise, because then there will be people who support him to become Hokage, and disputes will begin. Instead of fighting at that time, it is better to solve the trouble early and become Hokage well. For Konoha, when the Uzumaki clan asked for help, he found Danzo and set up a plan to rescue the only Jinchuriki Uzumaki Kushina. That was because the Uzumaki clan's physique was too strong and it was extremely suitable to become Jinchuriki. This powerful Jinchuriki threatened others. The best means of the country. Therefore, it must be eradicated, and no one can own it except Konoha. What's wrong with the old man? With bloodshot eyes, Sarutobi panted and finally met Yi Kenpachi's gaze. It's all the man's fault. It's all because of him. If it weren't for him, how could Konoha become like this? His eyes were full of hatred, but his body slowly knelt down. Instead of waiting for Kenpachi to kill, he has no choice but to give in. It is better to apologize than to be completely rejected by the villagers, and to have a good reputation for saving the village. But at the same time, he also admitted to the people in the village that he was indeed dealing with the Uchiha clan, but this matter can be pushed to the dead Tobirama teacher. Yes, just do it. Kneeling on the ground with a thump, Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath. I, Konoha 3rd Hokage, apologize to the Uchiha clan on behalf of Konoha. Sorry. Quote. A lot has happened, but from now on, Uchiha and Konoha have nothing to do with each other. Sorry, for the sake of the village, I could only do that before. Please forgive me. For the village. The old man is not wrong. After speaking in one breath, Sarutobi suddenly raised his head. But he was shocked. At this moment, everyone from the Uchiha clan had already turned and left. Old dog. The next time I meet, it will be when Konoha destroys. A voice fell into his ears, knocking down Sarutobi's last conviction and fainting. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 235 Their pride is nothing in Jonyan Village. This is the wrong world. People believe in the concept of ninja village left by Senju Hashirama, the god of ninjas, and protect themselves in the form of a group. In countless battles, everyone with protective beliefs fought each other unreasonably. Every ninja who appears on the battlefield carries his own tenacious beliefs. This is ridiculous. The way home. Kenpachi cancelled Kimamaro's summons and walked in front of the large group with Itachi and Sasuke. And what he just said, Uchiha Fugaku behind him turned into a stormy sea. This man completely denied the concept of Shinobu Village. But Jianzhang, Jonyan Village, is also Shinobu Village. Itachi frowned and asked his own question. He could see that Kensang had a lot of opinions on Ninja Village, especially the 5 Great Nations and the 5 Great Ninja Village. Then why did Jianzhang still establish Shinobu Village? He wanted to know why. The 5 Great Ninja Villages, the 5 Great Nations, are they worthy of being on par with me? Kenpachi shook his head disdainfully. The concept of Jonyan Village is different from that of the 5 Great Ninja Villages, and the concept is completely opposite. In the beginning, I didn't think about establishing a village. I just wanted to have a place to stay. But if I don't trouble others, trouble will find me. Sometimes it is extremely necessary to highlight your own strength. For example, now, no matter which Shinobu village spies approach Jonyan village, we will ruthlessly kill them and return the corpses to their hometowns. Although it may be a bit laborious for you to understand, you can use Jonyan village as a cornerstone, and then rapidly expand to the entire ninja world. That's all. This is it Jianzhang's ambition. After swallowing, Itachi looked back and looked at his old father. However, what happened to the inexplicable passion just now? The fruit is the Uchiha clan, and there will always be blood restlessness in the body that wants to fight. Retracting his gaze, Itachi looked at Kenpachi's side face. Jianzhang once said it a long time ago. He has two options. On the first road, wielding a knife calmly, the 3 and 2 confidants traveled in the ninja world in a cool manner, as Konoha shinobi. The second way, here is where you don't have to stay, you can cut down all obstacles in front of you, and then live a happy life of traveling through the world of ninja with your confidant. No matter which way, the ending is the same. Yes, the difference is that there is no one's shady fence, and the other is full of difficulties, but this kind of difficulty is not something he wants but is forced to endure. Lifting his head, Itachi smiled. I seem to have made a mistake again. Jianzhang is right, follow. Later, why bother to think too much about the Uchiha clan's gains, and from now on will live as a member of Jonyan village. How Jianzhang uses Uchiha's power, he only needs to obey. Maybe. Everything is doomed. When Konoha angered Anko because of Orochimaru's defect, he was destined to provoke someone. A crazier man than Uchiha Madara. That incident was clearly not Jianzhang's fault. According to Itachi's investigations over the years, he knows the inside story of Orochimaru's defect. It's not that third generation couldn't catch Orochimaru, but that he didn't have the courage to attack his disciple. Waste. Just by enlightenment, Sarutobi is far inferior to Senju Hashirama. Senju Hashirama said that he can kill all threats for the village, even if that person is his brothers, friends, or children will be like this. Orochimaru defected successfully. This is the incompetence of third generation, and the research done by Orochimaru, third generation also knows. Dao, but in turn used interrogation methods to force Anko to show to outsiders. This is funny. Huh. At this moment, a figure fell in front of the team. But those who can be perceived by Kenpachi and come in front of them will naturally not be enemies. Shisui. Frozen, Itachi hurriedly ran over to hold Shisui who was unstable. Eyes, I took them back. Gasping for breath, Shisui grinned with a hard smile. Fight against all roots with your own strength, and take back Danzo's own eyes. This battle is not easy. Please. Although there are not many Sharingan on Danzo at this stage, it must be enough to activate Izanagi several times. And when Danzo left with the elite guards behind him. The most important thing is that they know all the secrets and abilities of Shisui. This kind of battle is unfavorable. Shisui, who is kind-hearted, will not be cruel at first sight and really kills the other person. Looking at his injuries, Kenpachi understands that the process is quite complicated. Danzo is dead. During the battle, Kenpachi didn't have much interest. But whether Danzo is dead or not, Kenpachi still has an idea. Just like he didn't kill Sarutobi Hiruzen, that's for the next larger battle. That's it. Sarutobi is not dead, Kenpachi has a reason to keep him. To make a village corrupt to the end is not to wipe out the most corrupt people, but to let the corrupt people are more pervert. Kenpachi believes in this. So he saved Sarutobi's life to stabilize Konoha's situation and at the same time make the relationship between the 5 great shinobu villages. It becomes more subtle. Conquer. Trample. This is what Kenpachi wants to do. Before the decisive battle comes, let's leave Sarutobi's life. The real trial is not death. But to let him stay alive, to make public what he did to Konoha, let everyone see his face clearly. That's more enjoyable than killing him. Danzo owns the forbidden technique Izanagi of the Uchiha clan, and finally let him run away. With a heavy shame, Shisui thumped and knelt before Kenpachi. To some extent, he still lost. But it was lost to myself. Kenpachi understands that if Shisui really wants to kill Danzo, he might be dead as soon as he meets him. Don't underestimate the man who uses the combination of illusion and body flicker technique. Unexpected result. Kenpachi nodded and lifted Shisui from the ground. I won't ask about the process of the battle and the reason for letting Danzo go. There is only one point, please remember. The Uchiha clan has completed its transformation, only your excess kindness, if you don't recognize yourself. If you do, it will eventually harm the person you want to protect. Don't forget that Itachi patted Shisui on the shoulder because of what you almost did, and Kenpachi walked forward. Doesn't the leader punish him? Shisui can't kill Danzo when he is instantaneous. If he loses, he must be. Did not fight his own life. Quote. Fugaku came over and asked. Are you teaching me to do things? Kenpachi tilted his head, and Fugaku knelt on the ground with his eyes. Subordinates dare not. His heart was beating, and Fugaku's head went blank. The pressure that Jing Hongyi has just given him is greater than the pressure in this life plus the pressure. As if. This man only needs a thought to kill himself. The terrible man swallowed, and Fugaku didn't dare to lift his head. Fighting with Konoha. Let me see your Chiba's determination, this is what you asked for. This is also the reason why I did not shoot. But there is only one chance. I can see how far you have achieved it. Quote. Don't go to Jonyan village, don't talk like that, want to gain status there, rely on. It's you. Quote. Smiling at Fugaku, Kenpachi moves forward again. In essence, Uchiha Fugaku just expressed his loyalty and wanted Kenpachi to punish Shisui. But the inner things Kenpachi can see clearly. Ching Chu. That's just sheltering. It's also said in a disguised form that it's good to be punished once, this matter has been turned over. This is what the patriarch of the Uchiha clan wants to express. But Kenpachi, it's not Konoha's trash Hokage. He has his own unique way of managing the Uchiha clan. All conflicts are not caused unilaterally. The end of the Zebo clan is except for Konoha's pressure. In addition to being forced, Kenpachi understands the problems inherent in their clan. In fact, second Hokage Senju Tobirama saw it thoroughly. Arrogance, pride, excessive love. This is the tragedy of the Uchiha clan, so it is quite troublesome to manage. The purpose of second generation is to completely destroy the Uchiha clan and make the Uchiha threat disappear. Kenpachi wanted to defeat the pride of the Uchiha clan from another angle. Don't look at Kenpachi defending Uchiha in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen, and also released Kenpachi, which Konoha dared not want. In this case, Kenpachi understands Uchiha's internal problems better than anyone else. So the transformation of the Uchiha clan has started since they left Konoha. An eagle flicked through the air, and Kenpachi squinted his eyes and quickened his pace. Namikaze Minato has been notified, and the next step is to watch the wonderful performance of the Uchiha clan. Go all the way. When the huge Jonyan village appeared in front of everyone, those who were originally a little embarrassed about the future. The worried Uchiha clan's eyes widened, completely stunned. What is this? Compared to Konoha, no, it is bigger than any shinobu village. A unique architectural style, a sword ninja village completely different from other ninja villages. Prosperous, comfortable, with an impact that Konoha has never had before. Is this the hidden village of swords? When did the ninja world appear such a beautiful place, this? After swallowing, Fugaku's head couldn't react a little, and it was bigger than the reaction that Shisui and Itachi had arrived. The closer they get, the slower their steps, their eyes drifting across the entire ninja village, for fear of falling down. See you carefully, they already like it here. Nothing. Leader. Swish. More than a dozen figures appeared in front and knelt before Kenpachi. It's Hyuga Hiyashi and Namikaze Minato who returned to Kenyan village first. Fourth generation. Still alive. Fugaku was completely stupid. Long time no see, Chief Fugaku. Sister Yongdai is still so gentle, but welcomes newcomers as Jonyan village and has a special flavor. Compared with Konoha, he now regards Jonyan village as his real home. But this family lacks his own wife and children. So he wanted to pick up Naruto as soon as possible. Namikaze Minato. Now I'm in charge of processing ninja information. Oh yes, you had a relationship with Cloud Shinobi village before. During the war, it was the information he sent you. Quote. Kenpachi said lightly. It really was him. Fugaku sighed. Since Shisui said that the note is somewhat familiar, he has been considering the possibility and finally determined the handwriting. It is very similar to the trace left on the left hand of the dead fourth Hokage. The number of dead people in the Uchiha clan will probably increase exponentially. Quote. Why is Minato here? Uchiha's people obviously couldn't turn around. But for expressing his benefactor, Fugaku felt that his approach was correct. But he obviously thanked the wrong person. You should thank the leader. Hyuga Hiyashi said calmly. When the eyes of the two former patriarchs of the Hitomi family collided, Kenpachi smiled suddenly and walked to Uchiha Fugaku's side step by step. What do you think of Susanoo's defenses? Susanoo. Fugaku frowned. He didn't know what Kenpachi meant, but naturally there was nothing to hide from the leader. He patted his chest with pride in his eyes. The real Susanoo is called absolute defense, but I haven't found a way to turn on Susanoo. For the time being, only the master is a mature body. But even if it's a mature body, it's enough to compete with Sarutobi Hiruzen's summoning, the invincible monster. Very proud. Also very proud. Kenpachi flashed his eyes and snapped his fingers to look at Hyuga Hiyashi. Yes, Master Chief. Hyuga Hiyashi nodded, not surprised. In fact, this is what Namikaze Minato came back to inform him. At the command of the leader, we must do our best. Are you kidding me? Fugaku brows fiercely, shattered Susanoo with one punch. If it was Yi Kenpachi, he had nothing to say. But why can Hyuga Hiyashi do it? It seems that even Kenpachi-sama has a wrong estimate of Susanoo's defensive power. The three Go Jade slowly condensed into Mangekyo. Fugaku stood in front of Hyuga Hiyashi, and the dark Susanoo rose from the ground. Itachi, Patriarch, I'm afraid. Shisui in the distance swallowed. Everything in Jonyan village cannot be calculated according to common sense. Wasn't his Susanoo smashed by Orochimaru's punch? But it's only a semi-mature body. Susanoo has only bone defense. I heard that the mature body Susanoo needs Sero. If the Hyuga clan has also accepted the transformation. It looks like, Jianzhang is for the good of the Uchiha clan. Itachi shook his head. He knew exactly what Kenpachi was going to do. The flaw in the Uchiha family's bones is that they are too arrogant. If you want to change this arrogance, you must defeat the pride of the clan in front of everyone. In the previous battle with Konoha, his father Uchiha Fugaku showed strong fighting power that all the people admire. So what Jianzhang has to do is to let this pride be completely defeated, and let them understand that the pride that the family values is not in Jonyan village. Boom. The shocking scene finally came. When Hyuga Hiyashi's hands were filled with black Reiatsu and slammed on Uchiha Fugaku's Susanoo like a weird head, the skeleton that was known as absolute defense shattered instantly. One strike. Just one blow. Uchiha's pride, shattered. Their pride, in Jonyan village. Nothing. Big. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 236 Ninja World, the Hidden Village of Sword Crusade. In the unique Jonyan village, Uchiha's elite stands outside the entrance at the tip of the sword. But at this moment, their hearts trembled crazily. The brain has lost its thinking. The stopped footsteps caused silence. Kenpachi stood there calmly, watching Uchiha Fugaku Susanoo's face full of horror after being crushed. He was very satisfied with the result. Just by looking at Uchiha Fugaku's expression, he could understand the path of the other person's heart. I'm afraid I'm thinking about why he was so proud of Susanoo that he was easily crushed. What is the black energy? How can Hyuga Hiyashi's strength improve by leaps and bounds in the past few years? Or, at this moment, he was suspicious of his Sharingan production. This is Mangekyo Sharingan. Although not comparable to Uchiha Madara's Eternal Mangekyo, it can turn on Mangekyo and activate Susanoo's defenses, which is enough to show his strength. But his strength suddenly became worthless in front of the man who was hailed as the patriarch of the pupil technique clan like him. Even Fugaku observed Hyuga Hiyashi's expression. No fluctuation at all. The calm look seems to be telling Fugaku that this result is expected. Susanoo, should you be smashed by your fist? Fugaku lowered his head. He knew that it was not only Susanoo who was broken. And the pride of the Uchiha clan. He believed that he was outstanding when fighting against Konoha, and he also succeeded in closing the mouths of those people who were originally suspicious. Now, all the pride that hung in my mind has disappeared. Go down. Quote. Waved to Hyuga Hiyashi, Kenpachi walked towards Uchiha Fugaku. The former bowed respectfully and then turned away. Based on the soft exercise method, the system of soft step double lion boxing was added in the subtle adjustment of the training direction, and finally Reiatsu was motivated by the power of Hollow. This is just the easiest way to attack the Hyuga clan right now. Hyuga Hiyashi didn't use advanced homing blades. Those fists are only attached to ordinary Reiatsu, but after homing them, they can directly become hard and unique. That's Hyuga Hiyashi, the true strength of my subordinates in Kenyan village. But you may not believe him, he is not among the top 5 in Jonyan village's strength ranking. I patted Uchiha Fugaku on the shoulder. Kenpachi said something that was unacceptable to Fugaku in a mild manner. The Byakugan patriarch didn't use his full strength. What's even more exaggerated is that his strength can't even make it into the top 5. What about me? What am I? I am the patriarch of Uchiha, who won so much. What about the future status of the clan? Fugaku glanced at Kenpachi slightly. To be honest, he suffered a bit harder today. I thought that relying on the determination to fight Konoha and the strength of the Chiba clan, even if they knew that the status was their own fight, the Uchiha clan would be able to gain a place in Jonyan village through hard work. But the difference in congenital conditions is too great. Hyuga Hiyashi's strength is not comparable to him. What can such Uchiha do for Jonyan village? I thought that the power of the clan was inaccessible to Jonyan village, but now Fugaku understands that they do not take the power of the Uchiha clan seriously. Save them, just do it casually. Under this premise, what can he do to gain attention? Fugaku don't know. Kenpachi was a little bit emotional. The Hyuga family's plan to reform the subject is a research subject launched after Orochimaru accepted the Hollow experiment. In addition to the conditions he stated, Ōtsutsuki's chakra is also a key factor. As he guessed, after trying to make up for the lack of blood purity, the strength of the Hyuga clan improved by leaps and bounds, and as the clan leader, Hyuga Hiyashi was the first to complete the homing edge. The shape of the homing edge is very similar to the soft step double lion move. But the difference is that the energy attached to the hand becomes a mixture of chakra and Reiatsu. The new home blade, a terrible weapon named as the explosive fist. Such a successful experiment has begun to be fully promoted to the Hyuga family, and today, he has also seen the results of the experiment. Compared to Orochimaru's combination of Reiatsu's power into chakra to increase ninjutsu's attack power, the wizard's route is completely different. The Hyuga clan is purely physical augmentation. Susanoo should be hit with one punch. Not only the mature body Susanoo, even the full body Susanoo here fiercely attacking a point will sooner or later smash it. This era belongs to Jonyan village. Kenpachi has no doubt about this. Stand up. As a member of Jonyan village, even at the last moment of death, he will not lower his head. Hyuga Hiyashi is very strong, but I will explain one thing to you first. Taking a deep breath, Kenpachi pointed at himself with a curved corner of his mouth. This power is my creative. Quote. His pupils shrank instantly, and Fugaku's breathing became quicker. This power was created by Lord Kenpachi. What's the meaning? What does it mean? As you think, if I want to, you can have this kind of power, surpassing chakra. Above, the power that can be integrated with chakra. Quote. Power from the soul. But in order to obtain this power, there is a prerequisite that the Silk Master is an Uchiha. He took out a manual from his arms and handed it to Fugaku. Kenpachi's eyes were clear. In the hands of the family, Jonyan village does not need waste, and will not shelter people of no value. Those who fail to complete the manual will not completely lose the opportunity to gain strength, but they need to. He performed better. Quote. What to do, you can figure it out. Kenpachi gasped and walked into Jonyan village. It didn't take long or short to come out. Now he wants to take a good rest and then think about the next scheduled tasks. Opening the manual, Fugaku's hanging heart suddenly fell. Seems flat. His previous thoughts were too extreme. The above task is not too difficult, it emphasizes absolute loyalty and conviction. Opening his mouth, a sentence was suddenly held in his chest, but he was embarrassed to ask. But Namikaze Minato, who was next to him, saw his doubts and walked over. Don't worry, this village advocates absolute fairness. What you have experienced is what we have experienced. Evaluation is based on your completion and your usual performance. This is a prerequisite for whether you are worthy of training. But don't worry if you can't finish it. In this village, you will always find something that suits you. Place. Probably, this is the reason why he no longer lingers for Konoha. Minato smiled with emotion. Let's go, the place of residence of the Uchiha clan has been arranged. From now on, what questions do you have? You can tell me, if I can help, I won't refuse, thanks. Fugaku sighed. I always feel a little dreamy, this kind of calm conversation, if it were in Konoha, I am afraid it would be impossible to achieve. I don't know why, there is always a feeling of depression in Konoha, and that feeling has disappeared when I come here. If everything can speak with strength and effort over there, the Uchiha clan will not be able to speak. That's it. Quote. He was telling the truth. The conflict is the cause of both sides, but the cause is still Konoha's lack of trust, which cannot be ignored. Feeling should be, Patriarch Fugaku, forget your previous identity and start over. Well, start over. The arrival of the Uchiha clan did not cause much fluctuation in Jonyan village. For the aboriginal Hyuga clan and those in Yinyan village, it's just a little more willing to do. Lord Kenpachi's allegiance. Jonyan village has a mature system, and conflicts and contradictions do not exist. Because they believe in only one person, no, or a common god. Knight Kenpachi. A pioneer in changing the world. The true god. Jonyan village is calm, but the situation in the ninja world has never stopped. Especially this time Konoha's movement was too great, and many ninja village spies were dispatched one after another. But when they learned the truth of the matter, they were already collectively confused. Only a few years now, Konoha's second pupil family was once again taken away by Jonyan village. Hyuga and Uchiha, Konoha's two big pupil families have changed their belongings. This is information on the surface. After digging deeply, the internal factors also make people clean. In short, it is Konoha's fear of Uchiha's power, which fueled Uchiha's rebellion. It's just a drama. No ninja village is clean. This kind of fear principle is understood, it is nothing more than the high-level conspiracy and tricks. Konoha, other shinobu villages don't want to know. What they care about is still the problem of Jonyan village. Undoubtedly, after gathering all the countries around Tanokuni with Jonyan village as the cornerstone. That village is enough to arouse this kind of attention. Especially the opponent has almost all received the power of the Uchiha clan. It is certain that Jonyan village is unprecedentedly strong at this time and has completely constituted a threat. Konoha is relieved under the second premise, but he and Danzo have already thought about it. Step countermeasures 0. At the same time, besides Konoha, a secret message appeared on the desks of the 4 ninja village shadows. Jonyan village. At night Kenpachi's exclusive sky office. Lie down on a recliner and enjoy the top-down look down. This is what Kenpachi does every day. It's not that he is lazy. It's the system he set up. It doesn't require all things to be headed by parent and child. It only needs to develop direction. Countless management talents began to implement. As for the problem of cutting corners, greed and corruption, Kenpachi is not worried about that life at all. He is only the hollow elite to help manage the village, and the hollow elite. Between reading, they are willing to be false, and they are not dissatisfied with this point. Kenpachi gave them everything, including faith. You are really laid back. As a few pieces of white paper fell beside Kenpachi, a beautiful figure slowly appeared. Obviously, Conan is the only one in the ninja world who likes this way of playing. It was just that she was very upset. Why do I, as a member of Ōtsutsuki, your partner, I have to help you manage this broken village? Son. Quote, coming. The queen pinched her waist. The aggrieved woman moved to Kenpachi and began to question. That's your mission. Kenpachi glanced at her calmly and said, since I became the leader, I have been too lazy to go out to do missions, but there is a lot of money to support the Shao organization. Outside, or Akatsuki's largest shareholder, partner of Nagato. What happened to asking you to help manage the village? That's for your son, you think anyone can be my assistant. Don't like to force others. Quote, this man has no gentlemanly demeanor. Is your EQ so low? You can die by saying a few soft words, right? Turning over Byakugan, Conan sighed silently. Give up here. Like, can't do it anymore. In Jonyan village, she saw everything she had ever imagined. To be honest, Nagato's meeting with Kenpachi a few years ago made her feel a little nervous, but then the two reached a strange cooperation, and even Nagato changed the way of thinking and entrusted the road to peace to Kenpachi's full support. This is something she didn't expect at all. It can even be said that Nagato and Kenpachi abandoned Uchiha Madara. No, Uchiha Obito is blazing a trail on his own. Of course, this incident was a concealment measure taken from the beginning to the end of the guy wearing the mask. Uchiha Obito didn't know that the partnership between the two was always kept in the dark, and thought Akatsuki was in his control. Real peace is getting closer and closer. Speaking of serious matters, there was news from Nagato just now that the masked dog in your mouth is a little dissatisfied with the Uchiha clan you gathered. What he meant was that Nagato put pressure on you to surrender control of Jonyan village. So, here comes the interesting. Taking 1.5 Soil thought that Nagato was still under his control, and that Nagato regarded him as Rinnegan's guide, so he gave the order naturally. Unfortunately, Nagato sold it directly to him. Masked dogs can be stupid. He should know that I am not afraid of Nagato. Kenpachi drank the wine calmly. Yes, but he wants to use the old way. Conan stared solemnly. The news has been confirmed. The 5 ninja villages will gather elites in the near future to launch a crusade against Jonyan village. The masked dog means that if you agree to share control in most of Jonyan village's combat power, you will be dispatched. Akatsuki helped to defend. It is indeed an old routine. This threat was mentioned and implemented by Obito once. That time it was Kurigakure's elite that was dispatched, but this time it rose to the point where the 5 ninja villages were fighting together. Why Kenpachi knows well. Just like the fact that the Uchiha clan was destroyed, Konoha does not need to exceed the control of the clan, and the ninja world does not need a hidden danger ninja village composed of lunatics. At this point, the interests of the 5 ninja villages are the same. With the help of Obito and Konoha, the crusade was initiated and the alliance was extremely smooth. Obito's words can be ignored according to what you said, but it is also true that the 5 ninja villages want to deal with Jonyan village. Kenpachi, what are you going to do? With eyes burning, Conan leaned against the man in front of him. Every time it comes to this kind of thing, she has a sense of dependence. For example, now, she is looking forward to this man's performance. Call. Face to face. At this distance, I have already felt each other's breathing. Too close. Well, bastard, what are you doing? Gone. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 237 Espada of Jonyan Village. Asshole. Jonyan Village, Kenpachi's exclusive aerial office. At this time the war had just ended, Conan took out a brand new Huion suit and put it on his face full of resentment. This guy in front of you belongs to Lose Nose. Since reaching a cooperation with Nagato before, she has become the correspondent of Nagato and Kenpachi, and part-time as Kenpachi's secretary. It's not possible to say about love for a long time, but Kenpachi obviously doesn't have that patience. Conan fell because of a word the man said. This is what you want, the price you need to pay before true peace arrives. She does not deny that Kenpachi is very attractive. Especially the eyes that see through everything makes people totally uneasy. For example, just now, she had told Kenpachi that the 5 great shinobu villages would unite to deal with Jonyan village, but this fellow was doing things like beasts to herself as if she hadn't heard. Although I am used to it. But this is an office after all, in case someone comes in halfway. Come over. The reddish woman always has a special charm. Kenpachi hooked his finger at Conan. Although she resisted, she still sat on Kenpachi's lap. Is it Obito or the elders group that is in charge of Kurigaku now? Grabbing the wine gourd and taking a sip, Kenpachi asked calmly. Kurigaku's situation is special. Obito was in control of it until it joined Akatsuki. This is. Certainly. But now inferred from time, the point in time after the extermination of Itachi in the official original. Joined Akatsuki and became a partner with Kisame and became a fire and water duo. In this timeline, Kurigaku's affairs are blurred. However, according to the information in the original work, it is certain that after Yagura's death, Kurigaku did not immediately. The 5th Mizukage was elected as his successor, but he remained stable in the hands of the Kurigaku elder Yuenshi for a long time, and the position of Mizukage was given to Terumi Mei just before the 5 Shadows meeting. What about now? Kurigaku is a closed village. Kenpachi didn't have much idea about it before, so yes. The intelligence control over there is not complete, but the news from the Shao organization is better. 08 penetration. should still be under the control of the masked dog. After all, the proposal to attack Jonyan village this time was originally. Kurigakure responded positively. Conan picked up the file on the desk and looked at it and said. Understood. Knocking on the tabletop, Kenpachi's eyes are deep. He is thinking about one thing. One thing that Conan was completely unexpected. What's wrong? Thinking men are very attractive, but if they don't know the content of their thinking, they will make women curious. This kind of curiosity is often the best channel for both parties to get close. The leaders of every village in the world will always live in their own world. They will only. I think about what my own village is like, and never think about things outside the village. For example, unity. Quote. Even if you are a strong one, you always end up in every war, even if you win the war. Never choose to invade another country. This kind of thinking is about to be reversed. Quote. There was a flash of light in his eyes, and Kenpachi suddenly smiled. They themselves have raised their awareness of the pattern, and I will help them try it. Speaking of, I have declared war on Konoha the other day, but Sarutobi Hiruzen and Shimura Danzo did not learn to be a man with his tail clipped. Let go of Conan. Kenpachi stood up and his shoulders trembled slightly. This moment finally arrived early. It has been dormant for a total of about 10 years. When Kenpachi's 3 major templates are close to their full value. The beard is here. Patriarch Hiyashi, what happened to you? 3 days later, the atmosphere in Jonyan village changed significantly. The whole ninja village is spinning like a machine. Fugaku, who has settled down the tribe, is leading his men to carry out daily tasks, and just meets the patrolling. Hyuga Hiyashi. Nothing. According to the leader, a group of reptiles are coming to make trouble. The leader meant to destroy them before they attacked. Hyuga Hiyashi said calmly. Reptile. What do you mean? Which side is it referring to? Konoha chasing soldiers. Fugaku asked blankly. After all, he had just left from Konoha, and the only enemy he could think of was Konoha. Oh, that. The coalition forces of the 5 great ninja villages, I heard that they were dispatched from small groups of troops, which can be regarded as elites in the village. Ninja. Hyuga Hiyashi is still calm, but Uchiha Fugaku next to him is obviously confused. 5 ninja villages. What are they going to do? No, now is not the time to think about what they are going to do. But how to deal with Jonyan village? That was a joint attack by the 5 ninja villages. If you only deal with Konoha, rely on the Uchiha and Hyuga clan, plus Kenpachi-sama. It should be no problem to deal with its powerful combat power, but what does the 5 ninja village allied forces mean? Really, this sudden emergence of ninja village cannot be recognized. Fugaku gritted his teeth and took a deep breath and looked at Hyuga Hiyashi. Brother Hiyashi, Uchiha would like to take the lead and defend Jonyan village to the death. Finally got a place to stay, finally got out of Konoha's bitter sea, he likes now. Kenpachi's life is right, as long as you work hard, you will always find your own position in this village. When he heard someone attacking, he suddenly realized that his existence was to protect the people and the village behind him. What are you excited about? Hyuga Hiyashi glanced at Fugaku strangely. It's just a crawler. Quote. It's just the elite coalition of the 5 ninja villages. A total of 2,000 people are considered to be more than 2,000 people. Such numbers and strength are not yet in the turn. Those of you who entered Jonyan village gave up your life and forgot to die. Quote. Ah, what? What do you mean? Fugaku is dumbfounded again. Hyuga Hiyashi's words are easy to understand, that is, this war does not require the Uchiha clan to play. In other words, Jonyan village is confident enough to deal with the so-called ninja coalition forces. But is this too big? After coming to Jonyan village, Fugaku was indeed attracted by the people in this place, attracted by this shinobu village, and impressed by the strong strength of Kenpachi. But that is after all the elite troops from the 5 ninja villages. Is it really possible to deal with Jonyan village alone? Although he doesn't want to admit it, the strength of shinobu is not only the inner point of shinobu and shinobu. The power of the person. Just like the Uchiha clan fighting against Konoha. If Konoha recalls all the ninjas in the land of fire in advance, Uchiha. Even if the number of the clan is doubled, it will definitely not beat Konoha. But that kind of convening will not be done unless it is a very large war. Just like now, if the 5 great shinobu villages get serious, they can gather more than 30,000 shinobu in a few days. Who went into war? How can a village like Jonyan village, which has no background at all, deal with this level of battle? Fugaku couldn't figure it out. Just look at it with your eyes. The strength of Jonyan village is not something newcomers like you can comprehend. And Kenpachi-sama meant that this time the defense didn't want to expose Jonyan village's too much power. The amount, not only Uchiha, but also the Hyuga clan, he will not use it. Quote. Just, are you kidding me? He could tell that the Hyuga clan should be the main force in Jonyan village. But Kenpachi-sama didn't even plan to use it. What do you think? That adult. Looking up at the sword totem in the sky, Fugaku sighed. Night fell. Jonyan village is brightly lit. Basically all the registered ninjas gathered on the fort where the sword and the sword meet. Standing on a high place, they can clearly see the distance. The task has been issued. But the strange thing is that the task they received was not to fight or take the initiative to resist those immediate. The coalition forces of the 5 ninja villages that will invade. Itachi, is the mission wrong? What does it mean to stand here and look at it? Shisui and Itachi stood beside Fugaku and whispered. It's not wrong. Watching is watching. Quote. Itachi shook his head. Jianzhang has his own ideas in everything. In short, no matter how incredible the task is, as long as you act according to Jianzhang's will, you can't go wrong. This is his idea. Fool. Not far from the side, the Byakugan boy who looked at each other with Sasuke spit out a word in disdain. Who said you kid? He just asked about the specific content of the little ghost mission next to him, but he didn't know that he just opened his mouth. A stupid word. I can't figure this point of truth. I really don't know why you are my junior. Holding his shoulders, Neji waved his hand in disdain. Junior brother. Now Sasuke is stunned. Is it possible that the young man in front of him is also a disciple of the master? Forgot to introduce myself. Quote. My name is Hyuga Neji, and I was master's disciple before you came to Jonyan village, that is, you. Brother. Quote. Calmly walked in front of the opponent, Neji looked up and down at Sasuke, who was slightly shorter than him. As for what to look at, you will know in a moment. Just watch it here. You just asked me about the task. The master didn't say. But according to my understanding, since the master said that as long as possible to retain the strength of Jonyan village. To repel the opponent, that is, he, a man who has already leaked out, came on stage to clean up the enemy. Quote. As for why you went to battle in person, it is also to show you those who are later to see how strong you were as the leader of Jonyan village. But this time, I heard that a special department in Jonyan village has been dispatched, Espada. When he heard the name, Sasuke's face was confused. After that, you don't understand. In short, only the most powerful men can join the department. There are 10 positions from 1 to 10, directly controlled by the leader of Jonyan village, who is also the master. Quote. For the time being, Espada's role is still missing. Only Orochimaru-sama, Kimimaro-sama Gurren and Minato-sama are known. And the intention of dispatching them today is probably to let you see clearly the strength of Jonyan village, and let you know that this world of ninja under master's command will become different, and it is impossible for anyone to be protected by him. It's as simple as that to hurt the people under him. After speaking in one breath, Neji returned to his position. Understood. Quote. Others may still be in a cloud, but Itachi nodded when he thought of something for a moment. The attack of the 5 ninja villages can be regarded as a provocation. But this time Jonyan village didn't want to retreat, and even wanted to take this opportunity to show his strength. But while demonstrating strength, it shouldn't expose too much combat power such as the strong and outrageous Day. Shangyizu. This elite organization is similar to Anbu, but from the name, only 10 people are called Espada. What Jianzhang wants the ninjas of Jonyan village to see is the power of Espada. Tell the ninjas of Jonyan village how much power they survive under the guardianship, so that they can feel more at ease and work harder for the sake of Sword 200 Hidden Village. In an instant, Itachi understood why Jonyan village had taken the initiative to announce that the 5 ninja villages were about to attack. People's nerves are tense under that kind of pressure, and they are always guarding against the enemy's invasion. I am also afraid of the power of the 5 ninja villages, for fear that Jonyan village will not be able to resist and lose its original survival ring. The purpose of Jianzhang is to let the villagers understand the power of Jonyan village, and at the same time let the ninja world know the power of Jonyan village. Only when you feel the pain will you be afraid. With anticipation in his eyes, Itachi took out the advanced manual in his arms. This is a guide for survival in Jonyan village. When the contribution reaches the full value, there is a chance to accept the baptism from Jianzhang and become a stronger existence. It's like that strange form of Orochimaru. The power of the soul. Taking a deep breath, Itachi placed the manual carefully on his chest. Although it didn't take long for the Uchiha clan to come to Jonyan village, everyone was working hard for a goal. He liked this change. And he didn't let Jianzhang disappointed, and he was able to beat the dust on the advancement progress. Espada. How strong are they? Even an existence like Hyuga Heihachi can't join. Yes, he saw Hyuga Heihachi's terrifying power with his eyes. Even if his father's mature body Susanoo can't stop the opponent's fist, no one like that can join Espada. Coming. At this moment, Neji's excited voice was refreshed. Looking in the direction, his pupils shrank instantly. Several silhouettes in the air are extremely clear, but the 2 huge silhouettes are what he cares most about. He has seen the terrifying bone dragon with countless bones gathered together. It was Jianzhang's mount, but it is probably one of the mounts, because beside the bone dragon, a red and white ice crystal dragon also vacated into the sky. Another mount. Ferret's breathing was a little short. In the middle of the 2 dragons, Orochimaru and Kenpachi stood in the air. Do you fly? Become Espada's special ability. Minato is already in place. In the air, Orochimaru respectfully said to Kenpachi. But I didn't expect that Hollow's ability would be combined because Minato is Ninetail's Jinchuriki. Minato's experiment is finalized, but the results of the experiment shocked Orochimaru. In the Nine Tails Chaos, Minato used a ghoul to seal half of the Nine Tails in his body, but now, together with the Power Tail, there has been a change. I'll talk about it later, those crawlers are already here. After taking a sip of wine, he put the wine gourd on his waist, Kenpachi shook his neck, and two Zanpakuto fell into his hands and rushed in all directions with a terrifying aura. War. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 238 Enjoy the light of Jonyan Village. There is no thought of saying hello. The crusade by the 5 great ninja villages was a great insult to Jonyan Village. But for the 5 ninja villages, in the single digits, a Espada, which has just been established not long ago, confronted them, and it was completely looking for death. The gap in the number of people cannot be made up. The Espada of Jonyan Village actually wanted to change the battle situation with their individual combat ability, which was completely utopian. By Jing, not everyone is Uchiha Madara and Senju Hashirama. These two are recognized by the ninja world. They can reverse the situation of the battle by themselves, and even if they are reversed, they can only reverse the local battlefield. The ability to rewrite the map is indeed very strong, but when chakra is always exhausted, the tactics still work. They don't know the horror of Yi Kenpachi and the hidden village of Sword. When the Bone Dragon and Crystal Dragon appeared in front of the Crusade troops, the ninjas slobbed. Although according to Konoha's intelligence, they knew that it was possible to face this monster, but it was the first time to see the impact from the soul that made people frightened. Unfortunately, this time Kenpachi didn't want to settle the dispute peacefully, and rushed over with two Zanpakuto. At the same time, the rear of the ninja allied forces suddenly let out a fierce roar. 9 Tails. When the huge 9 Tails suddenly appeared with a white skeleton, the ninja allied forces were completely frightened. Perhaps the Bone Dragon and Crystal Dragon had never seen them before, and they didn't understand the lethality of that thing, but they knew Liwei very well. The strongest tail beast, a collection of hatred. 9 Tails has many negative titles. Are you kidding? Isn't 9 Tails in Konoha? Yeah, why is it here? And it's bigger than the rumored figure. It's too exaggerated, what the hell is that skeleton? Quote. The coalition forces in the 5 ninja villages naturally have Konoha's side, and there are also a few familiar faces among them. Facing the questions of the surrounding ninjas, as the person in charge of Konoha's dispatch, Yamato took a deep breath. Konoha now owns only half of the 9 Tails. Master 4th Hokage used his life to prevent 9 Tails from attacking the village, and sealed half of the 9 Tails in Uzumaki Naruto's body, and the other half sealed it in his body with a ghoul. Quote. Although the 9 Tails in front of you is exaggerated, if you insist on explaining, you can only say that Jonyan Village used the corpse of Lord 4th Generation. Speaking of which, the body of Master 4th Generation was indeed taken away by Yi Kenpachi. Gritting his teeth, Yamato's forehead oozes a trace of sweat. He shouldn't talk about these secrets, but now is a moment of death. At least tell the surrounding ninjas that this matter has nothing to do with Konoha. Don't anger Konoha at that time. And in the face of such a monster, he wanted to cheer up his companions as much as possible. If these people lose the courage to continue fighting, the war will be lost completely. Having said that, even Yamato himself did not want to regress. He does use wood style, but it is still possible to suppress Jinchuriki's runaway, but the power tail in front of him clearly appears in front of everyone in its entirety, and will the armor made of bones really be restrained by wood style? There is no time to think. The troops who had originally planned to attack Jonyan Village were suddenly trapped in the middle by several people one after another. In front of them were the crush of 2 terrifying dragons and the terrifying man who had already entered the crowd and could take the lives of 4 or 5 people with a single slash. In the back, the huge 9 Tails had cut off the direction they had come. They are just prey that will be killed at any time. Yi Kenpachi's determination. He actually wants to wipe out the elite coalition forces of the 5 ninja villages here. You lunatic. Click. The front of the battlefield. Kenpachi, who rushed past, harvested the lives of the ninjas like Shura, but this time, he gave up using the knife and pinched the neck of the ninja in front of him with one hand. A lunatic. Thank you for the compliment. The strength in his hand keeps increasing, but Kenpachi's face has a smile like a virgin, and the eyes of the caught ninja are full of fear in this strong contrast. As the person in charge of Sand Shinobi Village's participation in this operation, Baki thought the war was an easy task. But now it seems that he is thinking too much. Relaxation is very easy, but the relaxed party is basically the hidden village of swords. 2 monsters in the sky are unmatched, and the strange tail behind is pushing across the battlefield. The most terrifying thing is Orochimaru that can release black light. This war, how can they be small? Baki regrets it a bit. Knowing this a long time ago, why did he desperately apply for the position of the person in charge of this operation? For that little credit, I am afraid he will take his life now. Did you die of greed? No, it was due to fear of unknown forces. Before, there was no joint attack by the elite troops of the 5 ninja villages in any ninja village other than the 5 ninja villages. Only the hidden village of swords is an exception. Is there still a chance? Feeling the pressure of suffocation, Baki's struggle became weaker and weaker. But before he died, Seping was a little unwilling to say a word with all his strength. Lunatic, do you know that your actions will anger the 5 ninja villages? What this said. Kenpachi grinned, but instead let go of the hand on Baki's neck. Are you scared? Baki looked at Kenpachi coldly. It seems that my own words have worked. Indeed, the current situation is beneficial to Jonyan village. If they are not chosen to be annihilated, they will be captured as prisoners. This will also give Jonyan village the option of negotiation. No one can really fight the 5 ninja villages with the power of one village. Even if Kenpachi can use so many strange methods, it is the same. Therefore, any sensible leader will consider which of the two options is more appropriate. Annihilate, or grab it and use it as a captive for negotiation. The answer seems obvious. It's ridiculous. Unfortunately, Baki was wrong. After letting go of the opponent, Kenpachi looked at Baki with an appreciative look. With an honest expression on his face, he returned the captive and accepted various jumps in humiliation. Killing depends on your 5 ninja villages can unite to attack me, but I can't rush. You think so? Reaching out, Zanpakuto appeared out of thin air, again looking at Baki with a smile like a virgin. It's a pity, you think too much. I am very responsible to tell you that none of the 2,000 or so of you will survive. Can't any of them survive? Baki's pupils contracted. Kenpachi, do you want to start the 4th ninja war? No, you dare not do this. Otherwise, why do you think I'm keeping you temporarily? Don't get me wrong, I just want you to see how these 2,000 people died, that's all. It's the first time someone threatened me with the 5 great ninja village. I have to give you a good return. This is the reason why you don't kill me. Baki was completely stunned. I see. People are not afraid of the so-called 5 great ninja villages at all. Today is to kill these 2,000 people. What a joke. How dare he? Oh yes, forgot to tell you. Kenpachi suddenly turned his head and smiled and looked at the other person. You don't mean to come and go, you don't know the hospitality of Jonyan village, right? The elite coalition forces of the 5 ninja villages, thank you for your hospitality. After killing you all, every shinobu village flashes a flash, what do you think? Oh, I forgot, you haven't seen that dazzling light. Well, I have to clean up the battlefield anyway, I'll show you a look. Appreciate it, this is the light that belongs to Jonyan village. After speaking in one breath, Kenpachi's body slowly rises. Withdraw, Master Kenpachi will use that trick. The bone dragon and the crystal dragon looked at each other and flew away, and Orochimaru chose to flee for the first time. The 9 tails controlled by Minato also instantly disappeared into the battlefield using the god of flying need. What's wrong? Why did you retreat? Some ninjas in Jonyan village who are not aware of the situation and still watching on the wall and the 5 great ninjas in the ninja village on the battlefield are a little confused. The situation is great for Jonyan village. As long as the fighting continues, the 5 ninja villages will fail. Why did you retreat? People are a little confused. But when they saw the black light shining in the sky, the body became extremely tall, and even the man with the bull's head mask waved the knife in his hand, they understood what was going to happen. I heard that after receiving the gift of the leader, it is possible that the master will be worried. But I heard that above Sero, there is a larger diameter, longer attack range, and more exaggerated destructive power. A flash. Imaginary flash. And so far, Jonyan village can release this light, and only Kenpachi alone. So this virtual flash is also called the light of Jonyan village. The black and red light gleamed, and when the bull's head was fully charged, Kenpachi's double knives slashed forward violently. Blow down. The limit of sound is silent, but after breaking the limit, the deafening space shatters. Everyone covered their ears and almost couldn't bear it. Far away in Jonyan village are affected, not to mention those 5 Shinin village shinobi who are straight and shining. When the light dissipated, the middle position of the feature film battlefield has completely become a vacuum zone. More than 2,000 ninja troops were killed by this blow, and even no bones were left. This is the horrible power of Kenpachi, the strongest player in Jonyan village. And looking at the other party's relaxed look, it's clear that he still has inexhaustible whole cards that he hasn't used. Among other things, when Orochimaru occasionally hears the explanation mentioned by Kenpachi, that man never have used it. How strong is he? No one knows. There is only an endgame left on the battlefield, and he doesn't want Espada to handle the next tasks. With his body slowly falling, Kenpachi came to the front of the Uchiha clan. Opportunity is here, cherish it. Give the Uchiha a chance to perform. Unlike the last time the Uchiha clan fought Konoha, this time they will stand in Kakuzu in Kenyan village. Line fighting. Fight to protect the people behind. Fight for unity. And you, today's course is not over yet, if you are a man, go to slaughter a Konoha and smash it too. Let me see. With his head tilted, Kenpachi looked at Sasuke. Kenpachi accepts apprentices for people. Too benevolent and kind, he wouldn't even look at the role of the virgin. Only by knowing why you are fighting can you have the value of training. Whether Sasuke can take the first step is up to him. Only the remnants of the troops who attacked Jonyan village are left. The impact of this war is obviously not over yet. Kenpachi said that he will send the same light to the 5 great shinobu villages to let them know that Jonyan village is fearless. The imaginary flash, How many people died, how many homes and buildings were destroyed, Kenpachi had no interest in knowing. In fact, before they attacked Jonyan Village, they should have thought about the revenge of Jonyan Village after their failure. In this world, the strong have the final say, and the weak is the original sin. Weak can only be bullied. Just as Baki said, the 5 great shinobu villages jointly attacked Jonyan Village. In his opinion, it is to give Jonyan Village a face. But in Kenpachi's eyes, he personally went to the 5 ninja villages, and he also gave the 5 great ninja villages a face. He said and did that. When the news spread, the entire ninja world was completely fried. No one would have thought that Jonyan Village could be so powerful. Not only did they destroy the coalition forces in the 5 ninja villages, they even took the initiative to retaliate against them afterwards. In this way, they broke their previous cognition. Just as I said, Jonyan Village was not content to be lonely, but broke the national boundary and gave the 5 ninja village a devastating blow. Quote. Now Yi Kenpachi has returned to Jonyan Village, and I will deliver the contents of the meeting in a while. Rain Shinobi Village, a meeting room organized by Akatsuki. Conan talked about everything that had happened in the shinobi world recently. Other things can only be trivial, after all, no one can compare Kenpachi's crazy behavior. The 5 ninja villages have all been attacked. He is indeed a lunatic. Ju's voice is hoarse with a little disbelief. He really did that. However, what made him even more regretful was that the kid did not follow Nagato's meaning after all. His plan with Obito went bankrupt again. Black Zetsu had to admit, well, that they thought they had overestimated Yi Kenpachi enough, but they still underestimated the other side. Facts have proved that he alone is a terrible army. In addition to him, the 2 giant dragons dispatched in Jonyan Village and the 9 tails with bones are particularly good. If there was no direct conflict between them and Yi Kenpachi before, now, the opponent's power tail is the key factor. But he and Obito obviously can't trouble Jien Yinkun. Bai Jing project Tasuki no Mi has not started yet. Kenpachi's office in Kenpachi's hidden village. Aunt Snake sat in front of her, sorting out the documents, and finally raised her head to look at Kenpachi. How long? With a gasp, Kenpachi issued his own question. Considering the physique of the Uchiha clan, there is no way to use the cells of the Ōtsutsuki Sharon to increase. Simply Hollow should be completed within a year, Orochimaru said respectfully. It is true that the Uchiha clan cannot use the cells of the Ōtsutsuki Sharon, but Orochimaru, you forgot the most important thing. Kenpachi said calmly. You don't need Ōtsutsuki's home, and Senju Hashirama's. Senju Hashirama Orochimaru suddenly. Don't forget me and you. Where did Nagato's eyes come from? With snacks, I will give you time. Relatively, I want Uchiha to completely complete the transformation. Slapped Orochimaru on the shoulder, Kenpachi turned and left. He is going to conduct a crazy experiment. The 5 ninja villages have disappeared, and he has plenty of time to prepare. That is to fuse Senju Hashirama's cells to the Uchiha clan. However, first-generation cell-phagocytic ability is very strong. On the basis of this, Kenpachi will also give the opponent the ability of Hollow. Hollow's high-speed regeneration, and first-generation cells, plus the Uchiha family's Sharingan. What kind of monster will that clan become? Kenpachi smiled and walked away. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 239. Your strength is enough to push the ninja world horizontally, right? My king. In fact, there is still a question in my subordinate's mind. If you can, but just as Kenpachi was about to walk out of the room, Orochimaru's voice came again. Seeing Ping, there is something that is bothering his heart. Say. Stopping, Kenpachi didn't look back at him. He appreciates his subordinates who are thirst for knowledge, but sometimes he prefers his subordinates to use their own actions to think about solutions. Instead of asking directly, if everyone is like this, he might be exhausted. Actually, with your strength and the strength of the hidden village of the sword, even if you don't have to wait until the experiments of the Uchiha clan are all completed. Your own power alone is enough to unify the 5 ninja villages and unify the ninja world. Giving up his courage, Orochimaru thumped to his knees and said the problem that had troubled him for a long time. Yes. After Orochimaru came into contact with a power named Ryotsu, he suddenly discovered that the ninja world he lived in was so simple in the eyes of this adult. Only by gaining the same source of power, can he thoroughly see the gap between himself and Yi Kenpachi, and since then gave up some easy ambitions. But he didn't understand. After so many years, the strength of the man in front of him is so strong that even if the 5 great shinobu villages are combined, instead of sending more than 2,000 people to death as the day before, Kenpachi can still be easily defeated, even a unilateral massacre. But he did not choose to shoot directly. Why? Orochimaru would like to know. Obviously he has the strength and the power that can change everything, and the model of Jianian village also proves that Yi Kenpachi is not a so-called violent kun. But instead of pushing all the way, he was still accumulating strength. Why on earth? This problem. Kenpachi suddenly turned around and walked to Orochimaru. That's right, after all, you were the first to follow me, and the first to succeed Hollow, who is about to enter the stage of dryness. It is normal to find out. But Orochimaru, you have to remember that I can't kill the entire ninja world. Indeed, it doesn't take much effort for me to unify this ninja world now. You have this. The question should have discovered this too. Looking at each other calmly, Kenpachi looked at the sky outside the window. Is it true? Dashi 387 Maru nodded yes. If you choose to violently push, there must be many opponents of the ninja world, and then it will be a question of how many to kill. The man in front of him obviously doesn't want a broken ninja world. But not enough, of course. This is only a trivial reason, and the real reason is not this. Coming. Ant Snake has serious eyes. It really wasn't the real reason. Because he understands that even the dilapidated ninja world can still be restored, this man is not essentially pacifying all the rebels. He is such a person. Treat the enemy cold-blooded to the extreme, otherwise there would be no courage to kill the enemy of the 25th ninja village. That is the life of a live cow. Once a Sero is sent, even those who have the ability to kill 2,000 people sometimes dare not do so. Because they were afraid of the roar of the evil spirit entwining their ears in the middle of the night. What is it that Kenpachi-sama really cares about? You don't know the origin of this world, or how much do you know about the history of this ninja world? Without directly answering Orochimaru's question, Kenpachi pulled out something that Orochimaru couldn't understand. Is the history of the ninja world? After thinking about it, Orochimaru recalled the information he had consulted. If you ask others about this kind of thing, you may not be able to answer it for a while, but he knows the source very well. People. According to historical records, the person who first spread ninjutsu and chakra was called Six Paths. He founded ninjutsu. But I did not find too detailed information about him. I only know that Rinnegan has also become. I don't know why the eyes of the immortals became Nagato's eyes. I know from Ōtsutsuki Sharon, he also has a younger brother, and Nippei used to be with his younger brother. Teamed up to deal with an enemy. Thinking about it, Orochimaru said. He does not know much about Sage of Six Paths. Ninzong, Sage of Six Paths. He gave too much power to Ashura, who is his son, and the sand sculpture son belongs to. For patients with delusions, expect people to understand each other. But those who gain power always want more, which makes the history of ninjas now. Kenpachi added. But what I want to tell you is not after Sage of Six Paths founded Ninzong, but rather. Things before. Sage of Six Paths, he is just an unfilial son who inherited chakra from his mother. Sealed his mother with the power his mother gave him. This is him, his seemingly compassionate mental illness. With a sigh of emotion, Kenpachi continued to speak, and his mother is called the daughter of Mao. God is also the first person on earth to have chakra. Ōtsutsuki Kagaya. Ōtsutsuki Kagaya. And Ōtsutsuki Sharon is a surname. No, since I am the mother of Sage of Six Paths, I should have the same surname as Sage of Six Paths. But she was called the goddess of you, and what was going on with the first chakra? Orochimaru frowned. He wanted to digest the news. If chakra actually comes from someone, how can the energy in their body be recovered? Is this denying one's own existence from the source? And why hasn't it been celebrated to this day since it is called the goddess of US? After all, Sage of Six Paths only founded Ninzong, although it is a legendary character, the person mentioned. We can also know some, but this person, he had never heard of it. That's because that disgraceful history Sage of Six Paths does not want people to know. After all, he is a respected existence. However, his righteous action to destroy relatives is not incomprehensible. After all, the goddess of Ōtsutsuki Kagaya had a bad reputation for him. Once used force to control the world, regard the whole world as her nursery, and even launched infinite Tsukuyomi, which can control everyone into the dreamland, to refine weapons with people's bodies. And that weapon is the white Zetsu in the ghetto statue. After speaking in one breath, Kenpachi took the wine gourd and took a sip. It's a bit embarrassing. Orochimaru swallowed, thinking that Luffy spun quickly. For him, these things need to be digested slowly, and now he only needs to know the outline. Refining weapons, infinite Tsukuyomi. Control the world by force. Suddenly, he seemed to have caught some crucial point. Kenpachi-sama, since it is the existence called the goddess of Uo, he is the first to have chakra. The woman in, not to mention that it's a problem to be sealed by her son, she just said that the purpose of refining weapons is, what after all she owns chakra, and she is also the ancestor of chakra, controlling it in terms of her combat power. People are working for her and don't need the waste white Zetsu at all. White Zetsu is indeed rubbish, but it is very peculiar. The soul of that thing is in a half-wound state, but the body is. It can serve as a nutrient for people. In short, it is a bit mysterious, but if it is used in combat, it is obviously not up to the standard. Can those things really be used as weapons? Also, who is Ōtsutsuki Kaguya's enemy, and why does it make her nervous and unscrupulous? You are very smart, and you have directly grasped the key points. Kenpachi smiled slightly, and then he saved the time for explaining. The fun of words, grasp the key points in an instant. It's an alien like her. Elephant, but the enemy she fears is not human. Ōtsutsuki Kagaya does have a fear, Ayab, aliens. When these three words entered Orochimaru's ears, he was completely stunned. Does that thing really exist? Do not. In other words, human beings, the ninjutsu that ninjas depend on, actually came from an alien? What happened? This kind of thing too subverted his worldview. It even collapsed his belief in being a ninja. The ninjutsu that ninjas are so proud of, is everything a foreign thing? This reaction is normal. Kenpachi nodded. Maybe it's a bit early to say these things to Orochimaru. But in order to avoid having to repeat the explanation in the future, he explained to Orochimaru clearly about the final purpose. Then it's better to let Orochimaru dictate, so I'm talking about it. But Ant Snake was obviously a little irritated. After a while, Kenpachi patted him on the shoulder to comfort him. Don't think too much, the ninja is a ninja, she is her, there is no need to affect yourself because of her existence. Moreover, thousands of years have passed, it doesn't make any sense to consider those. Before, you were Konoha's rebel, but now, you are a member of my Espada army. I don't want to talk too much of these nonsense to you. In short, don't be affected by boring things, otherwise I can't guarantee the consequences. Maybe if you fail to recover, you will be replaced by my other subordinates in the future. The meaning of existence. Orochimaru woke up suddenly. The meaning of his existence has changed. Master Kenpachi is right, he really didn't have those things before. It is necessary to think about it. Thousands of years have passed, isn't it? I said earlier that Sage of Six Paths misunderstood Ōtsutsuki Kaguya's plan. He thought his mother was. These weapons resist other members of the Ōtsutsuki clan, which is a means to protect the earth. It's just that she's too tender, and she's playing bouncing too, Kenpachi said calmly. In short, there is only one purpose for me to say these things to you. It's not her way to guard the nursery. The one who is really strong is herself. That is our real enemy, not the 5 great ninja villages, nor this ninja realm, but others of the Ōtsutsuki clan feared by Ōtsutsuki Kaguya. Well, I didn't scare you. They have Rinnegan as a basic configuration, isn't this scaring? Orochimaru Rai smiled. The world is not as simple as you seem. The unknown threat comes from outside the world. The ridiculous thing is that those people are still fighting for one family and one village. Fight to death and life. Kenpachi shook his head and felt a little funny. But it can't be blamed for their narrow vision, and things such as aura and pattern are changed according to the environment. The illusion at the bottom of the well can't say that the toad is ignorant, because he wants to see that toad, but he doesn't have the ability to see the sky beyond the bottom of the well. We can really treat the toad of the bottom of the well as ugly, one side? Actually, I told you about the origin of chakra, not because I wanted to deal with Kaguya's enemies, because in my eyes they're not considered threats. My king. What are you thinking? Orochimaru looked weakly at Kenpachi. He was shocked enough, but this was not the point of the matter. Ryotsu, do you think it is a force that belongs to this world? Kenpachi smiled weirdly, and Orochimaru's expression changed suddenly with a black-red light in his hand. If it is said that future enemies will control this kind of power, and can even control enemies with higher powers than chakra Ryotsu, where will Geenian village go? Silence. This time, Orochimaru could not find any words that could respond to Kenpachi. Beyond the power of Ryotsu, what is that? Kenpachi didn't brag about anything. Including the Ōtsutsuki trio, even the second 10 tails hidden in a space crack somewhere on the earth, and even the boring shell tissue that didn't dare to come out when Madara was tossing the ninja world. Those people are nothing in front of Kenpachi. The real threat is the Battle of Otherworld. Although it is far away, it is necessary to consider the issue of improving combat effectiveness. Therefore, he will allow Orochimaru to complete the experiment as soon as possible and enhance the strength of the Uchiha clan. As for crushing the 5 ninja villages, sorry, there are some scenes he hasn't seen yet, so it's okay to keep it for now. But it didn't take long to get started. Once the transformation of the entire Uchiha clan is completed, it is time to push the ninja world horizontally. As for the plot, that stuff Knight Kenpachi is never at peace. Since he came to this world, those so-called plots have long since changed. Bai Jingjian Hidden Village absolutely does not exist in the original work. Hyuga clan because he left Konoha, Uchiha clan also survived. This is his ninja world, the nursery he carefully built. Relax your horizons, and you will see a different world in the future. So in the future, don't ask me why I don't directly deal with the 5 great ninja villages. Such boring questions shouldn't come out of your mouth. Taking a final look at Orochimaru, Kenpachi walked out of the room. There was silence in the room. After a while, Orochimaru took a deep breath, keeping his kneeling body. He bowed his head in the direction where Kenpachi had left. Master Kenpachi, thank you for your trust and patience. I see. In terms of closeness, Uchiha Itachi ranks ahead of him. But for secrets like this, he asked, Kenpachi told him and relieved his suspicion. This is trust. A letter that made him feel glorious. Experiment. Work overtime, it will always be done. Thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running. Chapter 240 The Invitation of Chunin Exam, The Last Turmoil Before Peace. Konoha for 60 years. On the quaint Hokage rock, a figure stood calmly above it. The eyes covered by the forehead protector are not the shade of his sight. Copy the ninja Kakashi, now the mainstay of the village. Standing on a high place overlooking the village, Kakashi's mood very calm. The Uchiha genocide incident 4 years ago had less impact on the village than he thought. Of course, if it hadn't been for the crazy man to come in flash again, the current ninja shouldn't want to recall that incident. Although the Uchiha clan had all left Konoha, even the history was rewritten. The high-level officials even wiped out the traces of the Uchiha clan as much as possible, and recorded all the credits of the war against Cloud Shinobi Village at the end of the Third Ninja War. Naruto's body. This incident was written into the textbook. The intention of third generation is obvious. He doesn't want people to know that shameful history. But judging from the results, the senior management also got the desired results. What they want is for the Uchiha clan to disappear completely in Konoha. Defection, or genocide, neither of them matters. That incident did not affect Konoha, and apart from the other families who were in danger, it did not cause much disturbance. However, Kakashi, who gave birth to Konoha in the 33rd year, stood on the Hokage rock and could clearly feel Konoha's changes. This land, once known as the first ninja village, has completely decayed. The economic strength is so low that Konoha looks a little depressed. The strength and quality of the ninja is more deadly. Kakashi can guarantee that if Konoha joins the war, it will be difficult to choose any one of the 5 ninja villages besides Konoha and Kirigakure. Even Kirigakure, the closed village Konoha, is very difficult to pack up and be sure to beat. This is far from the situation of Konoha 1v4 during the Third Ninja World War. As for the reason, think about it carefully and you will understand what is going on. The Genin village, which has grown stronger over the years, no longer targets Konoha all the time, and even in order to train their juniors, they will throw those newly graduated genin into the country of fire, let them hunt Konoha out ninjas on missions, complete graduation training. This thing is a shame. In the first dignified ninja village, the number of ninjas tossed by Genin village has dropped drastically. Even those who survived dare not go out to perform tasks. Because once you meet someone in Genin village, it means death. In such a situation where everyone is in danger, Konoha's old machine is completely stuck and immobile. Of course, in order to deal with this phenomenon, third generation gave up his life to personally lead Anbu Ninja to counterattack, but the result was terrible. Only a dozen people came back alive, and the rest died in the pursuit. Therefore, Konoha now adopts extremely conservative tactics, mobilizing as much manpower as possible to guard the village, and few people go out to perform tasks. Hero's End. First ninja village is completely in decline. Even the extolled Wall of Fire seems to be slowly dying out. Kakashi understands that if Konoha does not make changes, the village will be completely destroyed. Is that what Kenpachi-sama intended? Such a method is admirable. Konoha was heavy, but Kakashi was not worried about the future of the village, and even asked himself that there was something dark and refreshing in it. Yes. Destroying this village directly, how can there be any joy to watch it decay a little bit? Kenpachi's methods are brilliant and comfortable in this village where his father was so wronged and killed in vain. Such a result is destined, and it does not make people feel sorry. This is especially true for him, whether he is a fellow, a teacher, or a relative who has passed away. Konoha, destruction or existence, what does it have to do with me? This result couldn't be better. Kakashi-senpai, Naruto-sama wants you to visit. Just when he was stunned, a figure suddenly appeared behind him. Having taken off his mask, Yamato, who retired from Anbu, is now in a mixed mood. After witnessing the departure of the Uchiha clan a few years ago, Kakashi seemed to have changed in his eyes. It became more and more unpredictable. Understood. How is the progress? Roots. An organization that was supposed to be disbanded after the Uchiha clan left Konoha, but it is still in. Active. At the deepest level of the root base, Danzo looked at his subordinates with a little eagerness and asked. According to the information left by Orochimaru, the research has been almost done, and it has reached the end phase of the experiment. The masked root member replied respectfully. Understood, I'll do it myself in the final stage. Taking a deep breath, Danzo touched his bandaged eyes. Shisui's eyes were snatched back to find the writing wheel Orochimaru gave him when he was doing experiments. Now, Danzo started his plan, but not long ago, in an abandoned laboratory in Orochimaru, he can change the ninja world and bring Konoha back to the top of ninjutsu. He found something that surprised him. Taking the scroll, Danzo's face was a little fanatical. Forbidden technique is just for use, especially this is a valuable asset left by the predecessors. The current Konoha is in the most declining period, but relying on these things, the lost position is won. I will be able to get it back, Mr. Tobarama. If it were you, I would not be a victim. Sarutobi is still too indecisive. Yes, this time I will help him choose. With a big wave, Danzo followed his men to the laboratory inside. Soon after, a scream added haze to the gloomy atmosphere of the whole roots. Chunin exam? Inside the Naruto building, in Sarutobi Hiruzen's exclusive office, Kakashi looked at the documents in his hand and raised it in surprise. Beginning. Naruto-sama, I don't think Naruto and Sakura are qualified to take the exam, but Danzo Sai, who dispatched the 7th class, should have some strength. No, Konoha has reached the time when he had to. Sarutobi shook his head. In just a few years, the original black hair was completely gray. The once awe-inspiring shinobi is completely old. You know the situation in the outside world. Konoha's current emptiness is too low for those with ulterior motives to bear. Live provocatively. So the more you do this, the more you have to be tough, at least let them know that Konoha is still strong. The Chunin exam must be taken, and Uzumaki Naruto must also take it. Undoubtedly, he pointed to the card in Kakashi's hand with Naruto's information. If necessary, you can temporarily remove the extra seal, leaving only the 8-sign seal so that Naruto can use 9 tails chakra in a small amount. Remove the seal? Kakashi's eyes widened and looked at third generation in disbelief. He understands what third generation is going to do. On the premise of the Chunin exam, invite those ninja village members who are eager to participate, and then let them take a look at Konoha's new generation's combat effectiveness to deter the opponent. This is the usual routine of shinobu. If done well, it can indeed have a deterrent effect. But what if 9 tails gets out of control? Is it really necessary to deter other shinobu villages? I know what you are thinking about, but you have to do it. And it's not that all seals are lifted, it's just that all seals except the 8-sign seal are lifted. There is no big problem for him to be able to use a little 9 tails chakra. During this time, I will let Yamato prepare in advance, and will not let the tail run wild. The most important thing is that as a member of Konoha, Uzumaki Naruto should have the consciousness to contribute to Konoha. Everything is what you need to do. As a teacher, you should teach it well. Smoking a cigarette, third generation said leisurely. Since the rebellion of the 9 tails, the Hyuga clan rebelled, and the Uchiha clan's departure, Konoha has experienced a lot of his Hokage is also very clear that the following opinions about him are great, but no matter how big the opinions are, you have to hold back. That 9 tails Jinchuriki is the greatest guarantee. Using 9 tails is not only to deter outsiders, but also to make sure his position is more stable. Therefore, Naruto must take the Chunin exam at this time. As for the impact of the 9 tails chakra leak, I'll talk about it later. Understood. Kakashi nodded and said nothing. Face? The old man in front of that thing has long been gone. In order to maintain their prestige, even children can use it. In other words, this should be the face that Hokage should have, right? Over the years, you have endured very hard. By the way, Master Naruto, what are the villages that take the Chunin exam? Has Geinian village ever invited? Suddenly thinking of something, Kakashi asked. This time the Chunin exam was held jointly with San Shinobi village, and the invitation letters have been sent out. As for Geinian village, my intention was not to invite them. After all, the man was in front of the place. Someone declared war against Konoha. But Danzo means that if you don't invite, Kenpachi will think that Konoha looks down on Kenyan village. Taking the opportunity to attack, and if you invite, it will make them not participate on the grounds of not giving face, so it is better to invite them, Sarutobi said calmly. Sometimes it's like this, the less you don't want him to participate, he participates instead. Deal with the knight Kenpachi. Such people need to do the opposite. Your being Kenpachi is as superficial as you think? Kakashi remained silent, but his heart was full of contempt for Sarutobi. He can guarantee that, no matter whether Sarutobi hears and invites or not, Kenpachi will bring people from Geinian village to participate. This examination, and his arrival, will determine Konoha's ultimate survival. How can we understand God's thinking with the mentality of a mortal? Shaking his head, Kakashi arched his hands and turned away. Want Naruto to be your last condition of resistance? Third generation, you think too much. Don't forget why he stayed in Konoha. He is indeed teaching Naruto. But instead of educating him to become Konoha, he told him how to grow up. People in particular let Naruto find his father's identity by himself, and then let him look at the villagers' eyes. Some slight change, it is not difficult for Kakashi. By comparison, as the grandson of third generation, Konohamaru's treatment has saved him. The son of fourth Hokage in the village, how different is the treatment between the two Naruto knows, so third generation, he still failed in this move. Ninja world, Tanokuni no, it can no longer be called the country of Tien. Because after Tien Jiguo's daimyo criticized Geinian village's deeds, he was already bizarre. Disappeared. The country has also been completely included in the territory of Geinian village. This is a special existence in which Shinobu is in charge of the country. Although the responsibility of the daimyo falls on Kenpachi, he has no time to take care of it. There are a lot of talents in Geinian village, and that thing doesn't require him to consume brain cells, just leave basic policies and laws. A few years have passed, and the scale of Geinian village has expanded again. But the peculiar Ninamura style is doomed to the so-called expansion, just to make the scale of the sword and the sword bigger. In the air, inside Kenpachi's exclusive office, Konan stood in front of Kenpachi, and readers found letters from Konoha's corpse. Konoha means that we want us to take the Chunin exam. Put down the letter. Konan's face is helpless. But aside from this matter, is it true that you directly order the two messengers to be killed? The thing is like this. Because the graduation assessment of Geinian Village Ninja School is to hunt down a Konoha ninja after the children are thrown into the country of fire. This is a tradition for them to understand why Geinian Village exists in its own existence. Practice. Of course, this assessment condition is only one of them. If you are not very keen on this kind of thing, there are other options. However, most test cows still like to go to the country of fire to prove themselves. The messenger sent by Sarutobi, unfortunately, met this class of graduate cattle, known as the strongest new generation trio in Genin village. Uchiha Sasuke, Hyuga Neji, and Hyuga Hinata. These three are all disciples of Kenpachi. In the end, the messenger didn't run away, and was chopped down by Sasuke, who originally hated Konoha shinobi. Sasuke hates Konoha. Especially after he grew up, he understood some things that made him have no good feelings for Konoha. Because of that village, Uchiha had to leave with infamy, and that alone was enough to declare Konoha's messenger to death. Little things. Kenpachi breathed and took the letter and glanced at it. He thought that our Genin village would be the same as other large ninja villages, ignoring Konoha's invitation and not taking the Chunin exam, right? In the original Chunin exam, except for the organizer Konoha and San Shinobi village who wanted to subvert Konoha, neither Kirigakure Cloud Shinobi village nor Iwagakure participated. Not everyone will give Konoha face, because once they go, they will admit Konoha's existence and admit that the other party is the first ninja village. Are you really going? Konan asked curiously. Not only did Sarutobi think so, she also felt there was no need to talk to each other. Why do not you go? The experiment that caused Orochimaru to toss is completely completed. Kenpachi smiled slightly. Did you forget what I said? The last turmoil before peace is about to begin. And thank you for reading this story at mtlarchive.com. Your support enables us to keep the site running.